Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today I'm answering your YouTube questions. So if you have a question about what it is that you are doing on YouTube, you can put it in the chat, but there's also a form down in the description below this stream as well. So you want to make sure that you get your question down there because that's the priority. Of course, just as people come in late and things like that, I make sure to pull them out of the chat as well. But when you are putting a question in the chat, make sure that you put a Q in front of it to make sure that I know that it's for me and that it's not a side conversation that you're having in the chat. And in addition to that, when it comes to the questions specifically, as I am jumping into the chat for those, I'll just say, hey, if you got a question, go ahead now, drop it in now. And then that's where you put that Q and then drop your question there. But we start with the form just like we do every single Saturday. So I also want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 tool for YouTube content creators. TubeBuddy will help you optimize your videos for discovery. It'll help you test your thumbnails to make sure that the thumbnails that you're using are effective for the people that you're trying to reach. It'll help you bulk update your videos. And what that means is, let's say that you're in a situation to where you have to change a bunch of links and a bunch of descriptions. You don't want to have to open up every single video to do it. Then you can just use their find and replace feature to actually go in and just bulk update it across all of your descriptions so that it saves you a ton of time that way as well. But TubeBuddy has a bunch of valuable tools for YouTube content creators. You can try it for yourself at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. And I also want to let you know, if you're a new content creator and you don't have a lot of subscribers yet, if you're under 1,000 subscribers, then you actually get a discount if you decide to upgrade, but you can try it out for free at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. This stream is also brought to you by StreamYard, which is the live streaming app that I use to live stream this every single Saturday here on Nimmin Live. And the reason that I use it is because it's easy. They do all the heavy lifting in the cloud. It's easy to add graphics like you see on the screen right now to the stream. It's also really easy to bring guests into the stream as well. So you can try that out at StreamYard.com, and it even works on mobile devices. So you can even join a live stream, or you can host a live stream directly from your phone through the cloud with StreamYard and then broadcast that out to YouTube. And if you want, you can even multicast, which is another great feature for StreamYard, just to name a few. So with all that out of the way, hope everybody's had an awesome week. I hope that you are excited today to, have this conversation about YouTube and learn more about YouTube and all of that good stuff and just hanging out. It's nice to see everybody here. Shark Scrapper, what's up, man? Adoption with Nairi. Hope that you are doing fantastic. Neil, Urban Explorer, what's up, dude? Hope that you are rocking right now. Sasha, nice to see you in here as well. Contempo Coding, nice to see you here also. And I do want to let you know, if you are watching this on the replay, there's a lot of information that we share here during the live stream, and it's all generated by the questions that you ask. So because of that, it's great if you can join us at 9 a.m. Eastern. We usually run for about 3 hours, but if you can join us at 9 a.m. Eastern, but if you can't, then in that situation, it's not a big deal. Just go ahead and skip around and you will find information that is, interesting or helpful or whatever you want to call it when it comes to, your YouTube channel or just the creator life and the things that we go through as creators, because the questions that come out during these streams, we talk about all kinds of things related to being content creators. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that as well. So what's up, BMZ, the mage? I hope that you are doing fantastic today. And let's see here. I hope that you're having a nice day as well. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. Happy Watermelon. Hope that you're having a nice day as well. Love your channel name, by the way, Happy Watermelon. Had to time you out before the stream started because you were in there, just posting a bunch of stuff, asking for pinned comments and stuff like this one. Please don't do that anymore because I will have to, exclude you from the stream in that, if you keep doing that sort of thing. But feel free to participate, hang out, talk with everybody else. But I have to, keep it a little bit clean in terms of, what's going on in the stream here. Not even a little bit, a lot. We just got to keep it clean. That's what we do. We got to keep it clean. Also, I would like to invite you to share this out on Twitter as well. And as a little bonus, if you want to, share a picture of you hanging out with the stream, I'm actually collecting those right now. They might show up in a video or, something like that. So if you want to share that sort of thing out on Twitter, just make sure that you @ me when you do it as well. And if you're not, make sure that you are following me on Twitter, Insta, all of the, all the good places where everybody, hangs out. You can find me pretty much everywhere, but the places that I'm active are more, Twitter, every now and then, Instagram. I've got some stuff over there, but those are the spots. But YouTube, of course, is my jam. I love, love, love YouTube. Really quick, since we do have people here that are hanging out in the chat right now that are familiar with this, and I know that every single year you hear me talk about it, I do want to let you know that I have fortunately been invited back to Vid Summit to speak this year. Vid Summit, there's a link to that down in the description below. But when it comes to Vid Summit, it is like the conference for YouTube content creators. We talk a lot about growth there. We talk a lot about monetization there. So if you are a pro YouTuber, you definitely want to check out Vid Summit. If you're somebody that is trying to get a deeper understanding of all of this stuff, you also definitely want to check out Vid Summit as well. Vid Summit is going to be in September. As a matter of fact, it is September 28th through the 30th in Los Angeles. So we're going to be there sharing all kinds of information. A lot of great creators are going to be there just hanging out and learning as well, because that's what it's for, and networking and all of that. So you definitely want to make sure that if you are, if you can put some time aside to go to Vid Summit, it will be worth it for you. It's a great conference, and I'm super honored to be invited back to Vid Summit. Okay, so let's see here. So good morning, Baking with Charlene. Hope that you are doing fantastic. TubeBuddy is absolutely safe. I've been using it on my channel since I think around like 2015, and never had any issues, anything like that. But it's awesome. So yeah, absolutely, TubeBuddy is safe. No worries there. Sebastian says, "Hey Nick, I joined 3 days ago. How long does it take to get approved in the Niminati VIP group? Thanks, really appreciate what you do." Sebastian, if you joined 3 days ago, then I'll be seeing it when I log in after the stream today to add anybody else that had joined during this stream. So it's usually Saturday after the stream or the following Monday, just depending on how things work out, is when I go in and I add channel members. So people that join through the week, usually they'll get in either on a Monday or on the Saturday after the stream. Plumber Stacker, thank you for the super chat. And they say, hello, everybody. Hey, what is going on? I hope that you are doing fantastic, Plumber Stacker. Kitty Robinson says, wish that I could go to Vid Summit. Yeah, Vid Summit is awesome. Especially, like at being a business person. Yeah, you would absolutely love it. Okay, so really quick, before we get into the forum, I'm just going to go ahead and just pull a question right out of here just because I saw it. It says, how do I not run out of video ideas? So when it comes to video ideas, who here has trouble coming up with video ideas on a regular basis? Now, I'm not going to go through the process of actually showing you how to do the research and things like that, but I'm just going to tell you really quick. So if you have trouble coming up with ideas, you can just simply go up to YouTube search or Google search, and you can type in the type of content that you make. So let's say, for example, you're doing Fortnite content. You can type in Fortnite. If you're doing, crafting content, then you could do content around, making clay. If that's your crafting. If you are doing, anything, you can just go to the YouTube search bar, type in, or Google, type in the type of content that you make, and then they're going to start listing things that people are actually looking for when it comes to your type of content. So you can use those for inspiration directly, or you can just go, and I'll just use Fortnite for this one. You could do Fortnite space and then the letter A, and it's going to give you a bunch more options. Then hit backspace and then do letter B. It's going to give you a bunch of more options and so on. And that's going to just give you insights into the people that are interested in your type of content. It's going to give you insights into the things that they're actually looking for around your type of content, which can be advantageous for helping you come up with video ideas. So you can make videos about those things directly, or you can just use those as inspiration. Like, hey, I'm also going to, they're saying this, but, that means that they're wanting to know this. So let me make, content about that. So, when it comes to coming up with an endless amount of ideas, that's how you do it. And another way is if you go to the YouTube search bar and you just type in Nick Nimmin video ideas, then you're going to see a handful of videos that are going to pop up there, and they're going to say things like how to come up with unlimited video ideas. And I show you step by step how to go through what I just explained. So make sure that you check that out there. Neil Urban Explorer sharing the picture out here onto Twitter. Super appreciate the share, my dude. I hope that you are doing fantastic today and dropping it out of there on the van. That's what I'm talking about. Living that van life, watching Nimmin live here. That's what I'm talking about. Looking good, man. So let's see here. Next up on our list, we are going to just jump right into the form for this. So the very first question comes from Marcus Zapala. He always gets in here first. Marcus, man, you are a cunning individual. You're always like you're always like the first. Not always, but a lot. Like when you hang out in the streams, you're like if not the first, you're within the first like few questions that come in here. So let's see here. The type of channel is communication tips. The goal of the channel is multiple income streams. And the question says, "Hey Nick, hey." Says, I made a handful of videos on a topic that gives me a CPM of around $50. It's very tempting to continue making more on that topic just because of the high CPM. Ad revenue is my biggest income stream, followed by courses and affiliate sales. How can I motivate myself to make lower paying videos as well? I believe you've talked about a system where each of your videos has one of several goals. Can you remind us of your system? Thank you very much. Yes. So when it comes to being a content creator, Marcus, of course, sustainability is important. And since sustainability is important, it's important to make sure that you are monetizing in as many ways as you can so that you can reinvest that money back into your YouTube channel, right? So when it comes to putting out content, you have to balance out situations like yours. You have to balance out like, okay, do I just only focus on these videos that are driving more ad revenue? And if you do, then, that's okay as long as the audience keeps responding to those, and that's fine as long as you still enjoy making that content. But if you're like, hey, these are the ones that drive me the most ad revenue, then you can also think of things if you're already doing courses and affiliate sales and things like that, then you can also, focus a little bit more on those. And by doing that, that's also going to bring them up more to where they're going to become a stronger competitor for your ad revenue and possibly surpass your ad revenue depending on how much effort you put into those, or not effort, but how much you put those out. So in my case, and I'll actually pull up my content schedule so I can just quote it to you exactly of what it is that I do. But when it comes to my case, when I'm putting my content calendar together, what I will do is, of course, I have the videos that I know perform well on the channel, so then I'll lean on those for channel performance. But the things that I balance is channel performance itself, and then, of course, income. And then I also mix in some other things into that as well. But, I have to keep those things, balanced out. I also have sponsor obligations and things like that, so that I have to make sure that I'm getting that content out there as well. So what I do is I have in my content schedule, I have a list, and that list is community video. A community video is basically a video that I make for the community in terms of, let's say a big event happened on YouTube or they changed some policy, something like that. That would be a community video. And then we have the people need to hear this, which is the last video that I published on my channel. So I'm getting a lot of really great feedback from that video, just as a heads up, everybody. In that particular video, one of the things that I'm just bringing a lot of attention to, you can just go watch that video. But anyway, that is a people need to hear video, but that video is about 4 things that can get your channel deleted, which you don't want to do. And then I have view/subscriber videos, and those are videos that are proven on my YouTube channel time and time again, always to drive higher view counts and higher subscriber counts. So those are the videos that I lean on when I need to, get my numbers up, my channel health, so to speak. And then I have a money video, and a money video is something like an affiliate video or a sponsored video. And there can be overlap as well. Like some videos might be a view sub video, but then, there might also be, some money making things, within the content as well. And then I have client video, which is like if I need to make a piece of content for, a sponsor or something like that, then it would go under there. And then I have a sponsor vid specifically for that. And then I have experimental, which is like if I'm experimenting with something that I haven't done before, or I'm, testing something that is, where I mark it as experimental. I have collaboration, promo vid, and podcast. The collaboration video, of course, that one kind of goes by default on if I'm collaborating with somebody, then I'll have that list. But, in a nutshell, that is my content schedule. So really quick, another share just went out. Thank you. Let's see here, Pest Control Nut. Love the channel name there. And I'm just going to bring you up on screen just as a quick thank you for sharing this out. And this is from Pest Control Nut. So thank you for sharing the stream out today, my man. I appreciate it. So let's see here. So next up on our list, since we got Marcus taken care of there, I saw a super chat come in, actually a couple. So right out of the gate, let me just say thank you to Cut Through Society for the super sticker. Chat. And then we have Driver Sensei. Driver Sensei says, "Hello, Nick and World. Not looking for your personal stance, but when is it advantageous to put mods and account managers on a payroll?" So it's advantageous when it becomes overwhelming for you, or it just becomes something that you don't want to do. So when it comes to doing things like that, when it comes to hiring people, let's just make this broad and talk about hiring people to help you with your YouTube channel. So when it comes to hiring people to help you with your YouTube channel in any capacity, it all comes down to, okay, if I'm having somebody help me with my YouTube channel, what am I going to be able to do with that time? And that can come down to, the things that you either enjoy more or the things that you need to do in order to move the business forward or, anything like that. So the very first thing that you need to identify is, one, make sure it's in the budget to hire somebody. Two, as long as it's in the budget and your YouTube channel can support that hire, then start thinking, okay, well, if I do hire somebody and they're going to start doing that, what can I do with my time to continue to keep the ball rolling or to make things better, so that now, you can, make things better for yourself. And then of course you have other people that are involved with what it is that you're doing as well, so that you can just identify, if I'm not doing this, then, how can I use that time to better everything it is that's going on right now. So when it comes to that decision, it's a really intimate decision. Like, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to like video editing, I love video editing. I was talking to Brian G. Johnson about this. When it comes to video editing, I love editing videos. However, I have Vigard do the edits for most of the videos on the channel. And recently, because I'm in this setup here now, so I've been experimenting with different, shots and stuff you guys might have noticed, when I put the videos together. And because of that, just to, adjust things and just see how I'm, doing everything, I will edit, some of the videos recently. And during that time, I'm like, man, I've missed this. And the thing that I miss most is that, there might be a little point in the video to where I'm like, it'd be great if I just did something, like a little bit unique here that just kind of shakes up the whole video, and then I kind of move on from there. Like, I love doing things like that. When you have somebody else start doing things for you like that, then you lose some of those things, unless you're like, hey, I'm going to have somebody edit, X amount of videos, and then I'm going to edit X amount of videos so that I can stay doing that sort of thing. But, when you first identify, what you'll be doing with that time, and make sure that you are offloading things that either one, take the most time so that you can focus more on the things that, help move the needle, or just make sure that you are, defining exactly why it is that you are, having those people do it. But, the whole thing, it's all about, just making sure that, that money that you're putting out for that hire is going to be an investment of sorts into what it is that you're doing in order to, for you to be able to spend that time making things better. Great question, though. Let's see here. So next up on our list here, Yoga with Ali Beal says, I use free Canva option for thumbnails. They have background images and photos that I've used in layovers on my videos. Do you see a copyright issue? No, but what you want to do is you want to go to their website, and they'll have like a licensing or terms on their website, and you want to check that out. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that with Canva, their only thing is they don't want you using the exact thing. So for example, if it said like, best yoga video, they don't want you just taking that entire best yoga video without any changes to it and just using that. They want you to make a change to it of some kind. But since I don't work at Canva or anything like that, I really recommend that you just go to their website. They'll have like a terms and conditions or a licensing area. And in that area, they'll make it a little bit more clear, or you can just send them a direct email and they'll be able to help define that for you. But as long as you're making changes, like if you're using that website, that's what that website is for. So as long as you're making changes and making it a unique piece of work, so to speak, or a unique piece of art, since it's a thumbnail, then in that case, you should be fine. But I'm not a lawyer, but you should be fine. But I would definitely send them an email just for clarification and a deeper understanding of how they work with that. Glenn Daniels, thank you for the super chat, says, where do you suggest I find help? I have over 100 videos with 10 subscribers. So there's a nice handful of places you can find help. One, the very first thing is, hey, James John, welcome to the Niminati there. I saw you just subscribed to the channel. Welcome. If you are watching this, you might have subscribed from a video just now. I don't know. But if you are looking for help, the very first thing that I recommend is the YouTube Creator Academy. It's free. YouTube puts it out, and it's like an instruction manual of sorts that teaches you the best practices around being a YouTube content creator. They talk about, title structures and, doing all of these things that are important as a content creator. They talk about mental health. They talk about putting videos together. They talk about collaborations and the processes and of collaborations, all of this stuff that, YouTube content creators need to know. That's why you always hear me telling people, people, hey, go to the YouTube Creator Academy, go through the YouTube Creator Academy, because it's kind of like that step one, right? And at the end of the day, if you have 100 videos with 10 subscribers, that usually comes down to people just not responding to your content. And since people are not responding to your content, the next step as you're going through the YouTube Creator Academy is to sit back and really think to yourself, okay, if I'm not getting results right now, then that means that people either aren't clicking on what I'm doing, or if they do click, then they're bailing on the videos relatively fast, which is allowing me not to be able to get any traction on YouTube. So because of that, what you want to do after you're going through the YouTube Creator Academy, or as you're going through it, is you really want to start comparing your content. And I know this goes against what I normally say, but in this situation, this is where you do want to compare your content against other people who make content like yours, and just look at it objectively and think to yourself, okay, if somebody is given the option to click on a competitor thumbnail or mine, why would they click on mine over the competitor? And then look at it from the perspective of, okay, once they click on it, once they start watching my content, why would they watch my content compared to the competitor? And what can I do to get my content to the level of a competitor, or to be able to stand out and away from that competitor because I'm bringing something, more unique or whatever. So, the core of a YouTube channel is the content that you create. The core, like everything happens based on the content that you're putting out on the channel. So because of that, you have to figure out how to make good content for YouTube. I know one thing that I see a lot, Glenn, is I see a lot of people will upload videos because they think like, hey, as long as I just put up a bunch of videos, everything will be fine. But that's not the case. Like if you're putting out, like in your case, like I think you're doing the right thing, because you're like, hey, where do I find help? Because I've got 100 videos and I have 10 subscribers, out of those 100 videos, which means that you're not getting a lot of views either. So because of that, you've identified that you are, having an issue. So now it's going to come down to your education on, learning how to make better videos, learning how to, I don't know if you're on camera, or I don't know if you're doing voiceovers or how you're putting your content together, but you're also going to have to look at all of that objectively and say, okay, do I need to get better audio for my videos? Do I need to work on my camera presentation, my on-camera presence? We all do all the time. We always have to work on that stuff. But when you are, looking at your YouTube channel, instead of publishing a bunch of videos, just slow it down and say, okay, I need to really dig in and learn how to make good content and how to get people to click on that content. If you can do those two things, then all of the other details will just kind of fall into place on your YouTube channel. Of course, you can, optimize and, build out content strategies to accelerate things. However, at the core, right? Because I said it's the core. Like none of that stuff matters if you can't get people to respond. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know if you hear that or not. Listen. That is coming down. Woo. But, at the end of the day, you have to work on that core, because if you can't work on that core, if you can't get the core right, then there's nothing that you can do in order to make your channel grow, because, that core is making content that people respond to positively. And you have to be able to get that to, it doesn't have to be the best content in the world. It just has to be at a competitive level, so that when people come in, they're like, oh yeah, hey, they don't even think about the quality. When the quality is at a certain standard, they don't think about it. Now, of course, you have people like MKBHD, to where his content's so good that you think about it. When his videos start, you're like, wow, this is so good, right? There's that level. But then, for everybody else, there's the level of, hey, when people come into the video, I don't want those thoughts of like, hey, this is too quiet, this audio is bad, everything looks weird, the positioning, the framing is off, and everything's kind of awkward in it. Like you don't want those things to be taking place, because it's at a competitive level to where they're able to just enjoy the content instead of being distracted by all of the things that could possibly be, wrong with the content. So the first step is the YouTube Creator Academy. Now, once you have that taken care of, the next thing that I would recommend is if you want to, have a coach or something like that. I know Daniel Batal does that. Roberto Blake does that in a group environment. Brian G. Johnson does that. Tim over at Video Creators does that. Daryl Eves does that. Since you're just getting started with 100 videos, or not getting started with 100 videos, but since you're just getting started with 10 subscribers, the very first thing I would do before you start putting money into it is I would go through the YouTube Creator Academy, and I would educate yourself for free in the process of making, good content, how to make thumbnails, how to write titles, things like that. That will move things for you faster than going through the process of having, or cheaper, I should say, than having somebody else say that you're giving money to say, hey, first you got to work on your content, right? So that's what I recommend in your situation. Let's see here. I'm going to keep going down the list. I saw some others come through, and I know, hey, what's up, Tom? I know some, other super chats came in, so I'm going to answer those here really quick as well. Whoa, my. Make sure my mic is still working because I just had a power flicker. Okay, we are still good. Okay, Salad Cream Boy. First, lads outdoor camping.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Niminati. Make sure that next time, you know what, if you just go to niminvip.com, it's going to redirect you to our Facebook group. And that Facebook group, fill out all the information on the way in because that's how I verify that you're a channel member. And I'll be adding those after the stream today. Salad Cream Boy
Superchat
says, hey Nick, I use a tablet and my Techstar mic has developed a hum. Any free Android apps that can help as KineMaster doesn't have a background blocker? So when it comes to your mic, if you're having connection issues with your mic, that can come from or that hum is probably coming just from the connection itself. So because of that, you might need to, update your mic or something like that in order to fix that problem. Or it could be the input of your phone. Make sure that you have that cleaned out. There's not like dust in there and things like that. And that also could be, one of the things that's creating a barrier for the connection itself. Let's see here. Let's see. Hey, Brian G. Johnson in the house. What is up, Brian G? Hope that you're doing fantastic, my man. I'll be bringing people on later. If you are free this morning to hop on, you are more than welcome, my friend, of course. Let's see here. So as we keep going through this list, really quick, I just want to pop another thanks in here. We've got, let's see here. We've got TVR Creators also dropping a photo in here on Twitter. Uh-oh, am I having internet problems? No, I think I'm good. Yeah, because it's just loading super slow over there, so I'm just making sure it's still coming through. All right, so let me click on this really quick. Boom, there we go. So really quick, I'm just going to bring him on here just as a quick thank you for, sharing this out and, and dropping that picture in there as well. Thank you for the share. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see here. Next up on our list, we have, and I'm going to pull this one from the form, we have Painting with Yovette. Painting with Yovette says that they do bi-weekly content. They have been making videos for 1 year or more. The type of channel is teaching art. The goal of the channel is to share my knowledge to make others better. That's cool. It's a good mission. And not like you need my approval, but I'm just saying it's a good mission. Like that's awesome. Trying to make the world a better place. The question, how can you replace an outdated channel trailer with a new one and not lose all the views from the previous channel video? You can't. So basically the views that are part of your current channel trailer, those are attached to that video. It's not like, it's not like Vimeo to where you can just replace the video. YouTube does not have that option. On YouTube, what you would need to do is you need to just upload a fresh video. But here's the thing, it's channel trailers. It doesn't matter. But what you can do if you don't want that going out to your subscribers and all of that, is you can, one, just have that video as unlisted, but then make it your channel trailer and it'll still show up. And so it's not going to show up like on your videos page or anything like that. It'll just show up in that trailer spot. And in addition to that, if you, let's see what I was going to say there. Oh yeah. And also in the back end on your YouTube settings, you want to make sure that you uncheck the box that says to notify subscribers that you publish that particular video. All right. So next up on our list, and really quick, Chantel, thank you for the share out there. I appreciate it bunches. Thank you so much. And okay, so next up here on the list, and I missed one here from Bad Boy Hype. Also, just kind of sharing the love out there as well. Bad Boy Hype, thank you as well for the share. I appreciate it. Okay, so next up on our list here, we have painting. No, we got Painting with Yvette already. So we are going to click on this next one. And we've got Artie Lucas. Artie Lucas was in here earlier before the chat saying, yo, what's up, Artie? Okay, so the type of channel says world record breaking and just having fun. And the goal of the channel is to have a career on YouTube. And the question, should I be aiming to rank high in search or get into recommended? What do you find usually works best? It depends on the type of content that you're making, but in your case, if you're doing world record breaking, I would be going for recommendations. So in your particular case, you're going to lean really hard on your title and thumbnail. Of course, the video content's going to matter too, but you want to make sure that you are putting tons of thought, an effort into your title and your thumbnail and thinking of how they work together and thinking, okay, if this shows up on a homepage or being recommended next to another piece of content, why exactly should somebody click on this compared to all of the other videos that they see in front of them? Or if they're on they're scrolling through their phone, right? You want to think, okay, why would this thumbnail or this title or both, why would they stop somebody in their tracks and then push them over the edge to actually click on this, right? So you want to put tons of effort, in your case specifically, on your thumbnail and title, and you would be going more for recommendations than you would for search with world record breaking. You could, depending on the things that the records you're breaking, you could optimize for those too, so that you can take advantage of search and the homepage. But ultimately, with that type of content, depending on the records that you're breaking, you're going to want to make sure that you're paying really close attention to your suggested videos and to your homepage traffic. Let's see here. Next on our list, and I had one sneak in here that I went over. Are we doing a Christmas wrap? What? I wasn't notified of this in any way, shape, or form, but I guess it's going to start with like a ho, 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 right? Maybe, because it's Christmas. Ho, 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 it's Christmas time, getting views in the snow. Sadix Glens. Oh, Sadix Glens, what's up, man? Says, we'll be doing a live WID, my subscribers and reviewing their photographs on my live, since my content's about photography, tips and tricks, any suggestions? No, that's great. If you're reviewing other people's photography on your live streams, it's like, people that are, a part of your community and they're just wanting your feedback. That's awesome. So the suggestions that I do have for you is that, I would set up, if you look in the description right now, I'm not sure if you've seen this already on my channel or not, but if you look in the description right now, you're going to see, a link. It's towards the bottom, but you're going to see a link to a form that I have set up to collect questions from here. So what I recommend that you do is that you set up a Google form or some type of form on your website or something like that, so that you're able to collect those pictures in a way that you can go through them in an orderly fashion. So by doing that within this Google form, you're going to people are going to be able to upload that photo directly into the form, and then they can tell you any information about it or anything. You can customize the form so that you can do everything in an organized way, instead of having people just throw a bunch of stuff at you and you having to like randomly pick photos and things like that. And technically, if you're going to be doing that, you could make a post in your community feed, say, hey, I'm going to be doing a live stream reviewing your photos and all that. If you want me to review yours, then, fill out this form. And I would also put a checkbox in there saying, it's okay to use it, in your stream and, like that kind of stuff, just for that little tiny layer of protection. It probably wouldn't protect you in a court, but it's just a thing to, just let people know that, hey, you are giving me permission to use this, in the YouTube video. Might connect you in court. I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. So really quick, I've said really quick like a bunch of times today. So we are going to pull up Andrew Z right here, also sharing the love. That is what I'm talking about. We used to do this Twitter thing a lot when D was here, because he was like, he was doing that and changing scenes and all that stuff. And I was just thinking the other day, I was like, man, we haven't done that in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and start implementing that one again. So Andrew Z, thank you for the share out there, my man. I appreciate it. So let's see here. So next up on our list, let's see here. I saw another one come in here. Plumber Stacker says, what's the best way to get people to thumbs up and follow during videos? What are your thoughts on premiere videos? I think premieres can be fine as long as your audience responds to them. I'm not a big fan of premiering a video every time that you premiere or every time that you publish a piece of content, because then that takes away from the the specialness of a premiere. So because of that, I wouldn't just premiere everything that you publish. But if you do have content that you're like, hey, this is cool, and I want to be able to chat with the viewers while they're watching this video, then in that case, a premiere is fine. And in terms of getting people to thumb up, if you just ask, it does a world of wonders. So if you just, remind people, you don't have to cram it down their throat, but just work it into the conversation of your video. So for example, since you're doing Plumber Stacker, if you're making content about plumbing, let's say that you are showing people how to fix, something like in their tub. Then in that case, you'd be like, hey, if you've ever ran into this situation, give me a thumbs up. Or if you would like to avoid this situation, give me a thumbs up, something like that. Instead of stopping the entire video and making a whole big, production about, giving the video a thumbs up. So that's the thing that you want to do when it comes to the engagement on your YouTube channel, is you want to try to work it into the conversation when possible. Let's see here. Vigard in the house. What's up, dude? Hope that you are doing fantastic. Let's see here. So Fat Steven Siegel Gaming says, first time viewer, long time Fat Action Hero. Love this. Welcome to the stream, Fat Steven. I appreciate you being here. And let's see here. We're going to jump back into the forum right here in a second. But before I do so, we've also got Doug Hoosen sharing the love out here onto Twitter. Doug, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Nice to see you. I hope that you are doing well, my friend. Okay, let's see here. So as we keep on going through this list here, we have Jamil Abraham. I hope I'm saying that correctly. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is vlogging content, and the goal of the channel is to get more views. And the question, how do I share my daily life to people that they will like my video and subscribe to my channel? So here's the interesting situation, scenario, problem that vloggers typically run into is when you're putting out vlog content, people really need to respond to your personality big time. And when you're putting together vlog content isn't just, hey, I'm just walking around and I'm just recording this and everything's just kind of, like whatever. Like you're putting together, it's a vlog, but you're putting together still a piece of entertainment content. So because of that, it's really important to make sure that you have that perspective when it comes to your vlogs. Like, if you are, doing like a family vlog and you're just showing your stuff around your house and you are, just, hey, this is how we get ready for the day. That's fine. It's interesting how you get ready for the day. But when people click on that, you have to make everything interesting because you're putting together a piece of entertainment content. So you have to, I'm not saying you have to be a clown in any way, shape, or form, but you just have to think about when you're editing that video, what is the viewer going to experience as they're going through this? Because just walking around my house for 5 minutes talking about stuff that doesn't matter to them, that's not gonna, it's not gonna do anything for me. So because of that, you want to make sure that as you're putting everything together, that you try to do it in as much of an entertaining way as possible, so that you can make it an experience for the people that are going through your videos. So if you look at successful vlog channels, you'll see that they typically mix in things into their vlog content as well, be it entertainment plus information, be it entertainment plus how to something, be it the vlog plus showing people specific details about an area if they're a travel vlogger, those types of things. So it's definitely about you, but you also have to make it about the viewer, because these days on YouTube it's really difficult because everybody's trying to do it, to just upload a piece of content of you just kind of just walking around with no edits or anything like that, and getting lots of traction because of it. It can happen, but your personality needs to be off the charts in order for that to happen at a rate that would really matter, so to speak. That's Frosty. Welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that next time I keep that habit is ingrained in there. I keep saying, make sure next time you're on Facebook, because that's what I used to say. But now that we have the redirect set up, if you just go to Nimmin VIP, you will see it will redirect you to the Facebook group page, and there you just fill out all the information. That's how I verify that you're a member. And after the stream today, I will be adding you there. So we have Yuri sharing a screenshot out on Twitter saying that they are watching for the very first time. So Yuri, thank you for the share there. I appreciate it. And then we also have, for all of you Twitter folks out there loving this here, so we have How We Got Here also sharing some imagery here out onto Twitter. Much appreciated. Thank you for the share as well. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I like this kind of stuff because like I'm collecting these pictures too, and that's just something that that I can use in like like if I just happen to talk something about like building a community, right? Then like slapping those pictures on the screen, it's a great thing for those types of images. So thank you for doing that and taking the time. I appreciate it. A Redgar Boxing, a Redar Boxing TV, they say that any suggestions on tips on how to avoid copyrights? My content is all about boxing news and videos, and I'm using my own voice to make a commentary. So technically, if you're doing commentary, you should be fine. However, you will probably still get claims that you're going to have to dispute and all of that on a regular basis. What I would recommend to you, since you do have a channel that is strictly reliant on the content of others, is I would contact somebody like Ian Corzine. He's a social media lawyer. IanCorzine.com is where you can find him. I would contact him, or depending on where you are in the world, because he's focused on the United States. So depending on where it is that you are in the world, I would contact a local copyright attorney that does also know about U.S. copyright law as well as international, so that you can sit down with them and say, this is exactly what it is that I'm doing. Here's one of my videos, and they can give you direct feedback with your type of content and exactly how you're putting it together to let you know if you're in the clear or not, and how you can avoid, issues in the future, or you can, have them be part of the dispute process also. Brian D. Johnson says the grind is hard on these YouTube streets. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. The grind is hard on these YouTube streets. That's what I'm talking about. Glenny Channel TV.
Superchat.
Welcome. Oops, wrong one. Welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Niminati.
So make sure next time you are, see, I did it again. Snap. Okay. So niminvip.com. If you put that in, it's going to redirect you to the Facebook group. Make sure you fill out everything on the way in there. That's how I verify that you are a channel member on the way in, and I'll be adding you in there after the stream as well. Simply Small Engine Repair says hide subs or no. Who here hides their subscriber count currently? Just give me a hashtag me if you do your subscriber content, or if you hide your subscriber count. Just curious. And while I'm waiting for those answers to come in, I just want to just give a few quick shares here. We've got Zeke. I apologize if I'm not saying that 100% correct, but Zeke Speaks also sharing the love out on Twitter. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you for that. And we also have a few more that I'm going to go through here as well. We've got Mike Hybrid Steel in the house, also sharing it out as well, sharing the love out there on Twitter. Hope that you're doing awesome. Mike, hope that you are staying safe over there. And we also have, let's see here. We've got Leonardo also sharing this out as well. Leonardo, thank you also for the share. Hope that you are doing fantastic. Okay. So as we keep on going through this list here, we got Martin Twycross. Oh yeah, the subscriber count. Okay, sorry. So we've got At It Again Media hides it. We've got SS Crafts hides it. We've got let's see here. We've got Fast Steven Seagull Gaming says no, they do not. We've got Nature Relaxation, Authentic Cocina Vlogs. Okay, so we got a decent amount of people hiding your subscriber count. So one thing I want to let you know is that if you just don't care about the subscriber thing and all of that, that's perfect. It's fine if you want to hide your subscriber count. However, a lot of people do look at the subscriber count being hidden as a kind of like, wonder why they're hiding their subscriber count, for the people that care. Not everybody cares about, the subscriber count as much as YouTubers do. However, one thing that you do want to just think about is like, why would you hide your subscriber count? So let's say, if you're hiding it because you don't have a lot of subscribers right now, then you're hiding it because you don't have a lot of subscribers right now, to where at what point in your journey would you unhide it if that's the reason that you are hiding it? But if you're somebody that's like, hey, I don't care about, the subscriber counts and all that stuff, then in that case, it doesn't matter if you hide it. But some people do look at it like it's a little bit kind of like, I wonder why they're hiding their subscriber count. But at the end of the day, when you do hide your subscriber count, it doesn't really hide that much because people can still see your view counts. So if you're hiding it based on like a status thing, like subscriber count, then you're not really hiding anything because they can still see the view counts of your videos. So it doesn't really do anything for you either way, really. But one way, actually, let me take that back. One way that it does help is that, it is some kind of social proof. So if you have 0 subscribers on your YouTube channel and somebody leans there, people might be like, oh, this is awesome. I get to be their first subscriber. I'll do that sometimes. And then there's the other side where it's like, hey, I'm an artist. right? And if I'm an artist and I just want people to focus on my art and not make a big deal about my subscriber count, you know, I've got hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers and I don't want to make a thing of it. So because of that, I'm just going to focus everybody on my art and not necessarily my subscriber count. Then in that case, you know, it makes sense. So if you have like a real reason you're doing it, then it makes sense. But if you are doing it just because, you know, like, hey, I don't have a lot of subscribers and I don't want anybody to know, they still know by just looking at the view counts that you get. So so just keep those types of things in mind. But of course, you know, it's up to you. But you know, it's not something that you know, hiding it or not is not something that's going to like make a huge difference, you know, on the performance of your YouTube channel, so to speak. Martin, what's up, man? Hope that you're doing great. Says, will content that gets less views hurt your channel? It will not, unless you just consistently don't get, you know, unless you just consistently don't get views. But with that situation though, all it takes is one video to pop out, and then you're back on track. But you don't get suppressed per se. But you know, like the channel that was up here earlier, where they have like 100 videos with 10 subscribers. In that case, if it was me, I would just start from scratch. I would wipe all of that away, and I would be like, you know what? None of these videos really did anything. All right, I think we're back. I don't know if you can hear me. Give me 1 second here. I'm just double checking my audio. Okay, audio's coming in. Roadcaster. Got the right camera coming through. I've got this thing working. So can you see and hear and all of that good stuff? Man, this thing completely just whacked out my whole setup. Like, let's see here. Okay, so if that's full screen, then click on this, exit full screen, drop it into the right window. Give me just a second here. So my VLC is being all weird. Task manager. So give me a second here while I work through the tech on this. Let's see here, VLC media player and task. That is my TV graphic, and I'll walk through me just kind of resetting this stuff up here. So I had all these windows in here, which you can probably see. Yeah, from, oh no, that camera's down. Oh, we got a camera down too. All right. So yeah, it's party time in here just in terms of resetting everything back up. So so let's see here. What can we do? Let's open up Epidemic Sound. I'm going to play some music while I just get this set up, and then people can jam out to the music if you would like, while I'm in the process of getting all of this set up again. Oh, So fingers crossed, because it's still like coming down out there and like the storm is going nuts. Hold on, epidemic sound. We are going to just grab a tune here. We will just do electronic and dance, and we're just gonna hit go. And let's see what we got here. So let me pull this out a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. They used to have it where I could adjust the volume. There we go. All right, so I'll be right back. I just got to turn on some cameras, and oh, the background came back on. That's good. Let me check to see if that came. Okay, so I'm just gonna go turn this camera on, and then I'll be right back. So some of the, most everything came back on okay, which is good. Turn this down so we can still listen to it a little bit while we are rocking and rolling here. Okay, so give me about 30 more seconds, and then I'll have all this set back up so that I can get back into the questions and all of that good stuff. Okay, so we're just gonna move Twitter into here. And then I can see that, move this over to here so I can see this. All right. And I think, oh, it's still not on. Interesting. Okay. So it looks like we are just not going to have that camera. That's fine. That's how we are going to roll today. I hope that power outage didn't just like blow the camera. That would suck. or not the camera, but the whole, the whole setup back there. All right, I'm gonna try one more time. All right, I think it's coming back on. Should be anyway. 3, boom, there we go. Okay, so then I've got the YouTube window up here, and we are ready to just continue keeping on. That's what I'm talking about right here. So traveling tech, what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of resetting up everything because I had a power outage. It was just a power flicker because it's storming outside right now. I'm in Thailand, so the infrastructure here isn't amazing 100% of the time. So because of that, sometimes, in situations like this, like we'll have, like it'll storm too hard or the wind gets too strong or tons of rain or whatever, and things will flicker. And then when they do while I'm streaming, then, it creates a little bit of an issue. So I was going through the process of getting in on my phone because I was like, oh, we'll just do it from the phone again. And while I was going through that process, it came back on. So I was like, all right, cool. We are, still rocking and rolling, and we will continue to keep on moving here. Okay, so let's get back into the vibe of what we were doing before. So let's see here. I'm just going to go up here to the top and welcome Martin Howlett's Calming Anxiety to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Make sure just go to niminvip.com. And that will redirect you to our members-only Facebook group. Fill out all the information on the way in because that's how I verify that you're a channel member when you get over there. So one more thing I got to do here is I got to zoom in just a tad. There we go. Okay, so we're back now, just in time for another power outage. Yeah, music courtesy of Epidemic Sound. I think I've got a link to them down in the description, actually. So let's see here. Can I move this over? No, I don't think so. All right. So let's see here really quick. Jerry P, I just want to thank you for sharing this stream out as well. Thank you for that. I appreciate it as always. Okay, let's see here. So next up we have, let's see here, Jamil. We got Jamil taken care of, and then we are going to do one more out of the thing, or out of the form, and then I'm gonna hit some super chats, and then I'm gonna have you drop your question in here. If you're just if you just joined us, for example, I'm just gonna start pulling some out of the chat as well, for the sake of making sure that we can get as many people taken care of as possible. So one step. says that they have a gaming channel. They do gaming let's plays, news, top 5, best ofs, how-tos, and more. What's the goal of the channel? It's to inspire, bring joy, and entertain, and of course, to one day make a living off of doing that. And the question, is it generally better to stick to one thing / one niche, one game? For example, if somebody did Call of Duty content, I do a little bit myself, but if somebody did, would it be a good idea to expand their content and do other games, racing games, fighting games, or better to stick with just shooters, or even better to stick with just Call of Duty? Thanks, have a great day. Thanks, my dude, have a great day. So when it comes to your gaming content, ultimately, you want people to be coming back to your gaming content because they love how you play the game or your spin on the game or the things that you teach them how to do in the game, things like that. However, you need bait that's going to bring those people in. And that bait is your video content. So because of that, what you have to think about is you have to think about, okay, what type of audience am I trying to build here? And around what games would I do I care about the most, right? Don't think from the perspective of, hey, I'm going to make sure that I'm playing the right games for YouTube. Think of it from the perspective of, if I'm gonna be doing this for a long time, I'm gonna be playing a lot of games probably over time. So I need to make sure that I'm focused on the games that I enjoy the most because I'm gonna be playing them a lot. 2, I'm also gonna be connecting or pulling in with that bait that I'm putting out there. I'm gonna be pulling in more people that are also into those games. So I need to make sure that it's something that I'm into enough to where, I can be talking about it on a regular basis and things like that. So when it comes to starting with one game, that's typically the best approach. And the reason that that's the best approach is because if you're starting the channel, is because every piece of content that you put out on the channel is made for a person that's interested in that particular game. So that turns your channel into a resource for that particular game. From there, once you start picking up some momentum on the channel, that's where you start experimenting. Like, okay, hey, if I'm doing COD, then now I'm gonna do Rainbow Six because, there's a good chance in terms of just crossover with the game type that the people that are into Call of Duty that are watching might also be interested in the Rainbow Six content, for example. So, you just want to think of it from that perspective as you're expanding out with the additional games. But I would focus on one to get the ball rolling, and then once you have momentum on the channel, then experiment from time to time with different games. See if you have any take off or do better than the ones that you're currently playing, and if so, then you might want to make more of those, of course. And then just keep experimenting as you go through time with occasionally putting out a different type of game and seeing how your particular audience responds to that. Let's see here. As we keep on going down, we got Detecting PA says, change tag thumbnails on old underperforming videos. So some things to consider when it comes to changing your thumbnails and your titles on old videos is if your videos themselves underperform in terms of people land on the video and they just don't watch the video. So you can't, keep people watching for a longer period of time. If that is the case, then it doesn't matter, what you change on the front end, it's not going to make the video content better, right? But one thing that can happen is the expectation that a viewer might have when they're on the way into that video. So as a content creator, it's important to think about when you're writing a lot of people will just think, I need to make a thumbnail and I need to make a title. But what you ultimately want to think is, okay, what thumbnail, one, how am I going to grab the person's attention that I'm trying to reach with this, the target viewer? 2, when I'm putting this together, what type of expectation am I building for the people that are going to click on this thumbnail or title? And the reason that you want to think about that is because if you build up some sensational thumbnail and title, and then they click on the video and that video isn't, delivering what it is that you built up in the thumbnail or title in any way, then the retention on that video is just going to tank. And then YouTube isn't going to recommend that video to other people because the video content itself doesn't perform. So because of that, if the video content itself, if you look at it and you're like, you know what, maybe, the perspective was a little bit off here, the intention, in terms of if somebody were to click on this, what they would expect out of it. If that's a little bit off, then in that case, changing up the thumbnail, changing up the title, that might help. However, if the video content itself still, after you do that once, if the content itself just isn't keeping people involved, then you can change the thumbnail and title 100 times, but it's still not going to make the video content better. So because of that, turn this one down a little bit. Whoa, or just turn it up. Party. Woo. All right. So we are just going to, we're going to just try it again this way for now. So basically the lights and everything came back on. I'm just waiting right now for the internet to kick back on. Once that kicks back on, then we will be rocking and rolling as normal. It looks like it's coming back on right now. So I'm just going to keep on talking here while that comes back on, resetting some of the gear again here. So that we can get this back on. Let's see here, making sure everything is on. And it is. So, oh, my Rodecaster's off, so we got to turn that puppy on. Let's make sure this cam is on here. Okay, we are this time. Okay, back to the camera. Go in. Now I gotta find Epidemic Sound, so we can turn that down.
Feel dark magic.
All right, so I'm gonna keep the phone here on standby until. Let me see here. So I'm gonna turn that mic down, turn the mic mute. There we go. So yes, I'm just gonna keep the phone ready to rock and roll, and then. In the event that happens again, then I'll just switch to the phone and we will just keep, kind of bouncing everything around just for the sake of making all this a little bit easier. Okay, so let's get back into the question, switch into a chill vibe here. And we will get back to the question at hand. Oh, goodness. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so next up on our list, we have the Arkansas Diamond Miner.
Superchat.
Let's see here. It says coffee as usual. Thank you for that. I appreciate it a lot. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm like setting all this up here in the meantime while we are going through this. Getting some of the other windows open that were open before. Oh. All right. Okay. So now let's go back to the form. Okay, so we had TV slots. I missed a super chat here from TV slots. TV Slot says, hey, Nick, on YouTube for 40 days, uploaded daily slot. Let me take this down here really quick. Let's see here. So, hey, Nick, on YouTube for 40 days, I upload daily slot casino channel. Diving into analytics, how do I know if I'm at a good rate? My click-through rate is 7.2%, 126 subscribers, and engagement is at 43%. So when it comes to knowing if you are on the right path or not, one thing to make sure that you're keeping in mind is that when you are looking at all of your numbers, it's important to also factor in the impressions that you're getting with those numbers. So your click-through rate, you're okay. Your click-through rate is 7.2, but depending on how many views or how many impressions actually that you're getting that click-through rate for is going to really determine if that's good or not. Another thing that's important is when you are looking at your click-through rate, you also want to make sure that you are looking at where that click-through rate is coming from, because one thing that can happen is that if you're averaging everything out and YouTube is kicking back this, this number on the upside down triangle, the funnel there that you see in your YouTube analytics, then they're averaging everything out. But if you look into your traffic sources, you might find that the people that are coming from your channel page are actually clicking at a really high rate, and it's offsetting the low rate that they're clicking on everything else. So that can happen as well. So you want to make sure that you're being very mindful of where the views are coming from, or specifically where your click-through rate and average view durations are coming from for whichever traffic source that you're actually trying to get into the most. Because if it says 7%, but you find out that, you know, that your channel page is actually driving, you know, a higher percentage and it's offsetting things, but then you find out that you have a 1% or a 1.5 with, you know, with 1,000 impressions on it, then in that case, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, this isn't so great. But if you find that, hey, I'm maintaining, you know, a 7% click-through rate after getting, you know, 10,000 impressions or 100,000 impressions, then your view count would also, you know, support that. But then in that case, it's like, yeah, okay, this thumbnail is pretty solid because now I've got all these, you know, more impressions that I am, you know, that I'm, that it's going, that I'm factoring in to the number here. So that's what you want to think about. And also pay really close attention as well. It's not just your click-through rate. It's not just your engagement. How many subscribers you have. That's not really important in terms of video performance per se. I mean, it kind of is, but not necessarily. But you also want to make sure that you're looking at the performance of the videos themselves in terms of the people that are interacting with your content. You want to make sure that those people are experiencing your content in a certain way. And that way is that you are able to catch their attention, because it's normal to see a drop, you know, when a video first starts, but that you catch their attention while it's high, and then you're able to keep them watching for as long as you can at the higher percentage. It's normal for videos to kind of, you know, drop off over time, but you also want to make sure that your videos, that you don't see any problem areas where people are, you know, leaving in mass, okay? And for any place where you see people are dipping out, you want to highlight those areas and you want to say, okay, what did I do right here that might have caused people to leave in here? What was I not doing? And you'll learn all of that stuff over time, but you want to pay really close attention to your average view duration per each video as well, because that's the thing that's going to help you make better content. And if you focus, right, because you're paying attention, like you care, so, you know, you're uploading daily content and, you know, you have a, you know, your click-through rate, depending on your impressions, is okay. And, you know, you have decent engagement on your channel. So, you know, the next thing comes down to your audience retention reports and how people are, you know, being impacted by the videos themselves, or how they're interacting with the videos themselves. And then once you can see there that, hey, people are watching my videos for, you know, a decent amount of time too, then it comes down to people are watching my videos for a decent amount of time. They're clicking on my videos at a fair rate. So now it just comes down to me having enough content out there to actually create that snowball of sorts of, I've got a bunch of content out there that is continually bringing new viewers into my channel every day. And with every piece of content, especially you, if you're uploading daily and you're getting, you know, good response from what it is that you're doing, then every single video that you publish is an opportunity to have more people coming into your channel every single day, which then kind of helps the whole snowball effect happen on your YouTube channel. Richie Hustles says, absolutely love your drive to keep things going. Thank you. Thank you, Richie Hustles, for the super chat and for the kind words. It is appreciated. I'm in the process of getting the projector hooked back up while we are, you know, going through this part here as well. Did these cameras go down also? Hold on, that one went down again. We had this one. Yep, that one's down. All right, that's okay. So we're not going to put up the auto switcher right now. I'll just do it manually, I guess, for the time being. And we are just going to keep on trucking here. So let's see here. Let's see. So next up on our list, we have One Step. Did I do One Step already? Yes, we did. Okay, so here we have Critical SF. Critical SF says that they've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They have a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is to grow as much as I can and to help people progress through a certain game. My goal is also to entertain, as I sometimes film funny montages. Adjustment here to this. It's a little too loud. There we go. And just give me some feedback if the music's like too loud or something. Let me know. If it's, you know, if it's too low, that's okay. But if it's a little bit too loud to where it's like annoying, let me know. Let's see here. So the goal is to grow as much as I can and to help people progress through a certain game. My goal is also to entertain, as I sometimes film funny montages. The question: the views on my tips videos are slowly starting to decline, and I'm thinking about making a switch in my content because I have a feeling that more people will watch it, switching from tip videos to funny videos. My question is this the right step to make, or will I miss out on the potential to grow my channel via tip videos? Maybe you can pull up my channel and see. So when it comes to switching the content that you're putting out there, one thing to think about. Oh, it was too loud. Okay. Let's see here. It's too loud. Much better now. Okay. It's at a better volume. Let's see here. Okay. It's a bit better volume now. Okay. Good. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, if it gets too loud, just let me know and I will, I'll put it down. Tube Spanner in the house, what's up? Hope that you are doing fantastic. I see you also dropped a super chat up here. Says, so the mellow, chilling tunes were a surprise. Enjoy some iTunes on me.
Super chat.
Thank you, Danielle, for that. I appreciate it. Let's see here. As we keep on going, Professor Nez in the house, what's up, dude? Hope that you're doing awesome. Let's see here. Okay, so in terms of switching the type of content that you have on your channel, it's good to experiment, especially if you're just getting started. It's really good to experiment, and the reason it's good to experiment is because experimentation will help you uncover things that you might not have known if you didn't experiment. So, you might find that switching to funny videos ends up getting a much better response than doing the tips content. But keep in mind, when you're doing just random funny videos, the approach that you're going to take is also going to be different. So if you're doing like how-to content, you're doing tip videos, then that's like search candy, right? So that's kind of like a low-hanging fruit to get yourself into search so that you can start getting some traffic from search as long as people respond to your videos there. But when you start doing comedy content, then everything shifts a little bit. Now, of course, you can, make, comedy content that you optimize for search, depending on the things that you are talking about with your comedy. But ultimately, another thing that you are needing to make sure that you're focused on is if I'm making funny videos, I got to make sure that I'm getting the right thumbnails from the videos that I'm making so that I have the things to highlight. So when I'm producing the content, I need to prepare a little bit differently than I might on the tips video. And in addition to that, when you are putting your thumbnails and titles together with the comedy content, the approach that you're going to take is going to be more of a, hey, I'm trying to like really build up anticipation here with this thumbnail, or I'm really trying to, push somebody's buttons or whatever it happens to be, to get them to click on this video so they can come in and experience the comedy content. So here, the win with comedy content is once it starts, doing well on your channel, then you can, really ride comedy content far. But the hard part is actually getting started with comedy content, because like I said before, like the search candy from the tips content, it's pretty easy. But when it comes to trying to do something where you're only trying to grab attention from the homepage and suggested videos, then your skill set has to jump up a little bit, because in that case, you're working on like direct response of my video shows up on a homepage. I'm going to live and die by my ability to get people to click on a homepage and being recommended next to other content. Like that's where you're getting your traffic from. And because of that, you have to make sure that you are really, working on the skills to be able to, grab people's attention with how you're packaging up your videos with your thumbnail and title, and how you are putting the content together itself. Cargo Conversation Building Camp. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So, this is a bonus, like how the powers went down and all that good stuff. Like one really great thing as a recommendation is having a battery backup for your computer, for like your main machine, like if you're doing live streaming. Because if you have a battery backup, then one, it's just safer for the computer if you do have power outages for whatever reason. But when the power went down, it kept my computer up so I didn't have to like restart and go and open up all these windows. It was more of okay, this is trying to connect to the camera because the camera's off. The audio, I got a notification because the audio went down because the roadcaster went down. And then, you lose some cameras, things like that. But, battery backup, just a quick, studio hack. Getting a battery backup for your computer for live streaming can be really advantageous. Now, I don't have my monitor plugged into it, which I guess I should, but I do have my actual machine plugged into it, which helps me, get back on track faster when those power outages happen. I would love to know, would you be interested in hey, Roberto Blake in the house. What's up, dude? Hope that you're doing awesome. I'm going to be doing the sharing the link out here in about 45 minutes or so. So if you want to come in, of course, sir, you are more than welcome. But Doug, I see your message. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will pull those up here in just a second. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, would you be interested in seeing like a studio hack video? Because one of the things that I did while putting this new place together is I actually spent a lot of time thinking about like little details. Like for example, I'll be right back. And in the meantime,
if you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
For example, things like this, right? You see these at the hardware store, and these are made for people to be able to like hold on to this as they're, you know, like getting out of the shower or as they're standing up or whatever it happens to be. But you can also use these, like a lot of light mounts, they'll come with like clamps where you can clamp onto bars, or you can get them off of Amazon or whatever. So like in your studio area, if you want to get like light stands off the floor and things like that. I had a truss built, but then I also have some issues back over here in terms of lighting when I'm shooting the video content. So because of that, I got 2 of these. One of them is actually over there, but I got 2 of these, and these allow me to mount lights to them if I need to by just putting these in the wall. You can also put these on cabinets if you need to where you can quickly, you know, mount a light to it, and then you know, it's just, you know, it's out of the way. Get your light stand off of the floor, as long as, you know, the light that you're using isn't extremely heavy. If it's on a wall, it's okay if it's heavy as long as it's into a stud. But if you mount it to a cabinet or something, then of course you don't want the light to be too heavy, because then it might fall out. But if you want a studio hack video, like, let me know, because I would love to put that together and share some of that information. Okay, so we got some yeses on that. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, so just things like that, you know, the battery backup. What else? Other little things, like for example, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this or not. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I recently picked up one of these, and they didn't send it to me. It's like I got it here at the store, so I can freely talk about it, right? But even things like this, because I like things to be on a tilt, so I ordered this thing that I can put on the bottom, and it allows it to, when it sits on the table, because normally it's flat, but it allows it to tilt up. And, you know, with the size of it, like, you don't see it, you know, when it's actually sitting down there on the table. So then that way, you know, when I'm sitting here and I'm doing my thing, then I can, you know, have it at an angle, which helps me better be able to see the screen on it, and all of that good stuff. I'm actually going to order more for my ATEM Mini Pro ISO as well, because I want to get that one also tilting, kind of like the Stream Decks do by default. So, you know, there's little things like that. So yeah, I'll put that video together then. Let's hear. So that is, it's called a loop deck. And, you know, Jeff is saying that loop decks are incredible. Absolutely, they are. I think we talked about this last week as well. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tool in terms of, you know, just speed editing and stuff like that. Like for like doing my podcast, because I edit those. So when I'm doing my podcast, this helps me be able to just kind of cut through things quickly. And I have all my, instead of having to remember all the keyboard shortcuts, I just program them into the loop deck. And then I actually visibly see on the screen exactly what it is that hey, I need to switch to a razor tool. I need to switch to a selection tool, things like that. So it's just a really quick way to do that sort of thing. And you can have the knobs to where if you're using it in Photoshop or Lightroom or Premiere, to where you can turn a knob, and then it'll adjust the color just a little bit by turning the knobs. So it makes the digital experience a little bit more analog, if that makes sense. You know, because I'm old school. So, you know, just having knobs and buttons and all that stuff, you know, for me is something that I really like, instead of just, you know, using the mouse for everything. Okay, I gotta pop this chat out here again. Unable to connect to chat. Interesting. So I'm in here. Let me refresh this page. Okay, so let's hear. While that's happening, let's go here. And there were some super chats. Let me go ahead and get these taken care of here. Okay, so the very first one here, we've got, let's see here, Cargo on. We got that one. Tube Spanner, we got her. Thank you again for that, Danielle. Let's see here. We got Richie. We got the Arkansas Diamond Miner. The Driving Professor. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I'm a professional driver, and the goal of the channel is teaching people defensive driving. What's the best way to grow? So having the best way to grow is always, the answer to that is always making content that people enjoy, and then learning how to get people to click on that content. But what you got to think about is like, what type of content around defensive driving would people enjoy? My opinion would be scenarios, to where it's like, you know, hey, this is how you know, drive in this particular scenario. If you're like, somebody's chasing you, this is what you do, that type of thing. Your titles are probably going to have to be a little bit either super bland, like, you know, how to defensively drive in this situation type of thing, or they're going to have to be a little bit, like, you don't want to be clickbaity, but they're going to need to be a little bit on the sensational side of, like, you know, like, hey, you know, getting chased by, you know, police, whatever. This is how you drive, that kind of thing. But, you know, you might need to be a little bit sensational in that regard for the sake of, you know, getting people to actually, you know, click on it. But another thing also is if people are looking for, you know, defensive driving things, that sort of content in YouTube search, and you can identify that by just typing in defensive driving or any other way that you would say what it is that you do, and just seeing the different things that people are looking for that, and making content specifically for them that will help you in search. As long as people respond positively to your videos there, then they can stay there. But if they don't, then your videos will move down the row, and videos that people do respond to for those terms will end up being, you know, put into place. But another thing to think about as well is, as a defensive driving professor, then another thing that you could do, and this is where you would need to get in touch. I mean, if you're doing this for business, then this isn't a big deal. You probably already have somebody that you know that you can reach out to. But you would also need to, or I recommend that first, before you do this, just to make sure that you're doing it all correctly, that you reach out to a copyright attorney so that you can make sure that you're doing things in a way to where your content would fall under fair use. And then you could start actually doing breakdowns of car chase scenes, which would be cool too. So, you know, instead of it being a, you know, like, hey, I'm actually showing people, I'm in the car showing people how to do things, which you could experiment with that too, but you could be taking really popular chase scenes from all these different movies, and you could be breaking down as a review. So you would be on screen, you'd be talking about them, and then you would cut to the, you know, to the chase, and then you might pause it or whatever, and talk about the thing that they just did, and talk about, you know, the accuracy or things they could have done better, or, you know, that sort of thing. So then what you're doing there is you're mixing in some pop culture, you know, through the movie content, TV shows, any car chases like that. You're mixing that into the educational material, and you're doing it with something cool like car chases. So you could do that. You could also do, you know, like news, where, you know, if there's like, you know, popular car chases out there, you could talk about, you know, how they could have used defensive driving to get around or out of the chase that they were in. You know, those sorts of things are definitely things to consider. And hopefully that answers the question for you. Okay, now I can pop this chat out. Good. Pop out chat. There we go. Oh, and it just went over to the TV. That is not where I wanted that chat to go. Okay, so it looks like my TV graphic is down, so I need to do that as well. The guard says he still color grades with a mouse. Yeah, your color grading is awesome. Let's see here. So let me find that TV video. You know, if I'm not switching to that, I guess I don't really need it, but I'll still do it anyway. Open with VLC. And let's go ahead and drop this over here. There, full screen. Sounds like the rain has stopped, so we might be able to like rock and roll here for the rest of the stream. We shall see. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this macro going again. Let's see here. Run, recall and run. Loop and go. Okay, take that down. And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to turn this other camera back on, and then I should be good to go from there for the rotation for this thing also.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Yeah, so the funny thing, right, when you introduce all this tech, like, it looks cool and it's fun putting together and all that stuff, but man, when like one little thing, you know, happens, like a power flicker, right? Like, boy, do you got to put in some stuff in order to get everything rocking and rolling again. Okay, so next up on our list here, we had How Do We Got Here Genealogy. Says, how about
Superchat.
You pay me $1 every time you say next time you're on when you get a new member. Yeah, that's a good way to work around it, right? So by doing it that way, you know, then I'm getting penalized for it. That's good. Love that idea. Let's see here. Marcus Schwab says, why did the stream not end when the power went out? Great question. So the reason the stream did not end when the power went out is because I'm using StreamYard. So StreamYard, and I will just pull it up here just so you can see exactly what's going on here really quick. But with StreamYard, what this is it allows me to live stream, but it's all being pushed up to the cloud, right? So while I'm live streaming, this is actually holding the stream open. And then when the power goes down, this is still happening in the cloud. Like, hey, Renee, what's up, man? This is all happening in the cloud. So when my power, flickers or whatever, then the internet can go down, everything. It's not a big deal. This is holding the stream open. And then that's where I was able to connect to it from my phone, and then just come in on my phone for that little bit while I was waiting for the power to come back on and all of that. And as a matter of fact, like the phone, it's still, like right now, if I pull this up, like the phone is still, right here also. And I think I'm muted. Yeah, but the phone's still in here too. But basically that just allowed me to be able to come in. It allowed me to be able to come in, when the power came back on. So in addition to, it just being easy to use, it's also a great backup in the event that you do have those types of issues like I do, occasionally from time to time with my streams as well. Kitty, popcorn is doing okay, but unfortunately we actually had an issue yesterday. Actually, we took him for his shots, his rabies shots, and he ended up having an adverse reaction to his rabies shot, and he actually went into shock yesterday. He's okay, but he went into shock yesterday, and we had to race him to the hospital, and they had to give him additional medicine. We got him home. He went into shock again, and we had to take him to another hospital, and then he throughout the night, I think he had one more throughout the night, and then today he's been okay, just really slow and all of that, but he's fine. But he had unfortunately had a bad reaction to the vaccine. Say need more popcorn in the YouTube stories. Totally. Yeah. We just got him. Vigard. Yep. A little cutie. He'll pop up in some videos from time to time. So let's see here. So as we keep going through the list, let's see here. We got that one. We've got that one. Ophelia family. I didn't see this one earlier, but thank you for the super sticker there. Let's see here. And Ord's Board says the grind is real on YouTube. Wouldn't have it any other way. I claim no association with Fat Steven, just saying. And then let's see here. I think that is, I think that brings us up to date. If I missed anybody, let me know and I will pull them back up. Okay, so I'm going to hop into the forum here for this next one, and then we will move on from there. Still in the process of trying to get all this set up again. Okay, so this next question comes from, we did critical already. So this one comes from KJ Fitness. KJ Fitness says that they do fitness/home workouts. The goal of the channel is to inspire and motivate people to work out and stay healthy. And the question, at what time of day should I post a workout video to target both Europe and North America? So YouTube, if you go into your YouTube analytics, they're going to show you when your audience is online. So since YouTube is showing you when your audience is online, then what you want to look for is you want to look for the purple or the dark purple, and you want to publish when right as your viewers are coming online, the people that are currently interacting with your channel. Now keep in mind, if you upload on a consistent basis and let's say you upload every Monday, there's gonna be a really good chance that data is going to be weighted towards Monday if you typically upload on a Monday at 9 o'clock as an example. So you just keep those types of things in mind when it comes to that, but they do give us that information to let us know when our viewers are online. Let's see here. I am on Twitter, Jake Hudson. So I absolutely am. And speaking of which, let's see here. We've got that one. So this is from Fat Steven Seagal. Says that, let's see here. I'm actually going to pull this up on screen real quick. And I just want to, why is that not, did I just stop my camera? No, I didn't. Okay. Share screen, window. Fat Steven Seagal, thank you for the share out there. I appreciate it. And let's see here. And then we had one more, I thought. Oh, and Elis John Hudson, thank you for the share as well, for sharing the stream out there too. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's keep on scrolling through the list. So here's what we're gonna do. So if you have a question, right now is the time that you put your question in the chat. But before you do, make sure you put a Q in front of your question so that I know it's for me and not a side conversation that's happening in the chat. Let's see here. At It Again Media says, what is the name of that announcing machine that you are using? So if you mean this, when I hit these buttons, right? All of this, that is called a Rode Procaster. And you can get these on Amazon, of course, but it has 4 audio channels. It has a USB channel where you can plug your computer into it. It has a phone channel where you can plug a phone into it. And it also has a Bluetooth as well. So you can also bring in like Bluetooth devices if you didn't want to directly connect to it, which is cool. And in addition to that, it has 4 headphone outputs so that you can adjust the volume for each headphone output, and you can record directly into this, and it has audio processing. So not only is this triggering the sounds that you hear, but it's also processing my voice in real time as I'm talking into the microphone. It's adding some dynamics, it's removing some of the background noise, things like that, to make the audio sound a little bit better. Simply Small Engine Repair says, what day is your YouTube channel review stream? In the members only group, we do that on Wednesdays, to where we do that inside of the members only group. But here on the channel, I don't do those. At this point in time, I'm not doing them. I might start doing them over on my Nim and Extras channel. So, you know, make sure that you're subscribed over there. But for now, I'm not doing those currently over here. Okay. How are you able to switch so many cams in StreamYard? So I'm using an ATEM Mini, which we'll go back to the tech here for a second. You know what? This camera went down. Let me turn this camera on really quick and I can give you a better view. Okay, there's that. And if I go to here, let that come on. Okay, so that's not wanting to play. So, and we'll try it again. See, like when the power goes out, it's like everything gets all crazy, right? It's like, oh no. But yeah, it's called an ATEM Mini. So you can see it here. There we go. That's a decent shot for it. So basically the ATEM Mini right here, it's an ATEM Mini Pro ISO, and the one next to it here is an ATEM Mini. But basically this thing right here is, it takes 4 HDMI inputs, and it allows me to, you know, have the different cameras up. And then it also has software that comes with it where it switches, it auto switches. So you set up whatever it is that you want it to do from the switching. And then once you set it up, then it takes care of the rest. So you just hit go, or you hit, you know, play actually in the sequence, and then it takes care of the rest, so that you don't have to like mess with it while you're streaming. It just automatically will switch around. So I can't get the GoPro up, so I'm not going to show you that, but that is typically how I would show you that, but not today. Actually, just gonna take the power out on that one. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. So what is your channel review stream? We got that one. Okay, let's get some of these questions. Okay, I have an outdoor adventure channel. All my video traffic has decreased. Do you think it could be a seasonal thing since it's getting warmer out? It could be. You know, it could also work in the other direction as well, to where, you know, you have people that are, you know, looking for some fun outdoor stuff to do, and they, you know, start watching YouTube channels because of that. So what you want to think about is you want to think about the decisions that you made in terms of content, and actually look at the channel and say, okay, my views have decreased on the YouTube channel. Have I changed anything? Have I, you know, changed my consistency? Have I put out a string of videos that just haven't performed like they normally do? So for example, if you are putting out content and you're just coming up with great idea after great idea, then in that case, you know, your stats can be up. But then let's say that you're like, okay, now let me just throw some videos out there to just kind of, you know, make sure I'm publishing, but these aren't, you know, videos that I'm putting like tons of time into, just as an example. And then you publish those videos, they don't do as well, and then it ends up, you know, bringing the overall, you know, counts on the channel down. That definitely is something that can happen, but there is seasonality with YouTube. Within seasons, there is that, but then there's also seasonality with channels as well, to where, you know, sometimes you're nailing it, sometimes you're not, and because of that, you know, it causes just fluctuations in your stats. So what you want to do is you can actually go into your YouTube channel, and they have a compare feature in your YouTube analytics, to where you can click on that button and you can compare date ranges. So you can say, okay, at this point in time when my channel was doing better, this is the activity that was happening on the channel, this is where all my traffic was coming from, this is the videos that I was getting suggested from, and then you would have what's happening now, so that you can start to actually see the reason behind the stats on your channel. So you can say, hey, you know, maybe I was getting a lot of suggested traffic here, a lot of homepage traffic, but lately, because of the decisions I've been making with the channel, people just aren't clicking on them as much, you know, on the homepage, that sort of thing, which, you know, that will all, of course, impact the performance of those videos. Also, you want to think about, for the traffic sources that you're pulling from specifically, like you want to look at the impressions that you're getting there too. So, just looking at, hey, how are people clicking? There's that, but you also want to make sure that you're looking at the impressions that you're getting on those different surfaces compared to what it was that you were getting before as well, based on the performance of the videos that are on the channel. Dude Fish says, do you want to go fishing?
Super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. I actually have a pond. It's not my pond, but I actually have a pond like right behind my place. So technically, I could just go out there and go fishing. You're more than welcome to join if you'd like, if you happen to be in Thailand. But I'm not a fisherman though. Like I'm not. Like when I was little, I would go fishing. But nowadays, fishing's just not my thing. Like, just I'm not a fisherman. Not a fisherman. I understand the relaxing nature of it and just kind of like hanging out and, just kind of chilling, waiting for some fish. But that's just not my, that's not my thing these days. Now I'll just like, dabble in music or something and just kind of like chill out, outside or something like that. So here, why does YouTube not recommend my videos and recommendations? Great question. So when it comes to YouTube not recommending your videos and recommendations, it comes down to video performance. So if your videos perform well in the recommendations or suggested videos, then in that case, then you will get more suggested traffic. If your videos perform well on home pages, you'll get more homepage traffic. If your videos perform well in search, you'll get more search traffic. So it comes down to your video performance and how your videos can compete or compare to the other videos that are showing up in those spots and how often they get clicked and watched, further engaged, shared, all that good stuff, compared to the videos that are currently there. Football Skis by Gaucho says, can I change my country from settings to upload? Yeah, you can change your country, but what you want to make sure that you do is you want to put your country that you have your YouTube channel account on. You want to make sure that that's in the right country, because if you are going to get into the partner program, they're going to need to send you information. They're going to send you like a little postcard with a code on it that you're going to have to put in. And they're also going to have to send money to your bank. So that bank also needs to be, in your country. You need to have a bank in the country that you have, that you have your settings set to. Let's see as we keep on running down the list. Ricky Wiley says, is it good to use Fiverr to promote my videos? Absolutely not. And the reason you don't want to use services like that to promote your videos is because, one, ultimately what you need to do is you need to learn how to get that activity on your YouTube channel yourself organically. Because what can happen if you buy ads or if you use any type of service or whatever, on the ad side is if you spend a bunch of money on ads, but you can't get people to respond organically, as soon as you turn off that ad spend, people aren't going to just magically start clicking on your videos and enjoying them, right? So you have to learn how to get that part taken care of first. And the funny thing is once you learn how to get that part taken care of, you won't need to go on Fiverr and, hire anybody to do anything, or you won't need to spend money on ads. But in addition to that, the people on Fiverr, there's a lot of people there that are just using bots and things like that, to where they'll inflate numbers so that you as a customer think to yourself like, hey, it worked. This is great. I'm going to give a 5-star review. But at the end of the day, you don't know that they're using bots and things like that to artificially inflate your numbers with not real users, not people that actually care about the content that you publish. So because of that, I am strongly against using any type of promotional service for your YouTube channel whatsoever. So I would avoid that at all costs. Let's see here. So next up on the list as we keep on going down, Anthony, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Says, I started a new channel with a really old YouTube account that used for years to watch videos. Now my data shows years of inactivity before my first upload. Does that impact my account now that I'm a creator? No. So when it comes to your YouTube channel as a creator, the content that you are watching does not impact the performance of your content. So let's say, for example, there's controversial content out there, where people are talking about, questionable things in terms of conspiracies and things like that. And what can happen is people will think, oh, hey, well, my channel's not doing good because I'm watching this content, but it has nothing related to that whatsoever. So just keep that in mind, the content that you watch versus the content that you create. Those are two totally different things. And you can watch anything you want, but the thing that you want to be mindful of is the content that you're actually publishing to your YouTube channel. Ben Magic says, thanks for the info, mate. Been watching for 3 years now. Hope you're doing well this evening. Hello from London. Hello, Ben. I hope that you're doing awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for watching for all of this time. Let's see here. Real estate channel in the U.S. What is your take on the Spanish-speaking audience in YouTube? I think that there is tons of potential in the Spanish-speaking audience on YouTube because that's one of the largest languages on earth. So because of that, I think that the potential there is huge. So if you are reaching as a real estate agent, if you're reaching, if you're trying to sell houses and you're trying to sell houses to that demographic, then it makes sense to make content in that demographic so that you're getting your content in front of the right people that will actually, help you as, or that you can help as, as a professional, that you can help with your services to help them find the homes that they're looking for. Just make sure you're optimizing everything around Spanish if you are. So, make sure you're speaking in Spanish, your titles are in Spanish, any text in your thumbnails, all of that is in Spanish so that the system will better know who to share your content to. How to make a cash cow YouTube channel. To make a cash cow YouTube channel, you need to come up with a good idea for the type of channel itself, and then you hire people out to do different aspects of the YouTube channel itself. So the reason it's called a cash cow is because the idea is that you make this, you basically get a system in place where you're hiring one person to do the actual voiceover, one person to do like animations or the content, whatever, and then you have the actual ownership of the YouTube channel, but you're essentially just paying for content to be made that you're going to be publishing on that YouTube channel. So what you have to think of is the entire process of, from ideation on coming up with the idea of what it is that you're going to be making your content about on that cash cow channel, thinking of that all the way through, like, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, then what does it take to actually put that content together? How much budget do I have for this? Where do I get people to do those sorts of things? And then, when am I going to publish? How much content am I going to make? How am I going to get attention to the channel? What specifically am I targeting? All of that good stuff. Wisco Ted.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Niminati. Next, almost did it. I almost had to spend $1 there. So when you go to your browser, next time you get the chance, type in niminvip.com. That's going to redirect you to the Facebook group, our members only Facebook group. And we are doing a live stream in there right now every Wednesday. So there's one post in there where we're getting feedback. So if you want feedback on a specific thing, once you get access here after the stream, then make sure you find that post. It's in announcement spot number 7 at the very top when you first log into the group, and find that post. You're gonna see a bunch of channels in there. Make sure that you put a link to your channel and spell out exactly what it is that you're wanting feedback on. Just a general, hey, check out my channel. That ends up taking a lot of time. So because of that, we wanna get it to as many people as possible that are in the group when we're giving that feedback. So because of that, you wanna make sure that you are like, hey, get feedback on my thumbnails, or, is my, do my videos start, when my videos start, what are your thoughts on that? Those sorts of things. So just be specific about the feedback that you are, that you're after. Let's see here as we keep on going down. We got Wisco Ted taken care of there. Brian Tiles, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here again. Says, just about to upload my first few videos to YouTube. Is it beneficial to repurpose Insta Reels to YouTube Shorts to help early growth? It depends long-term on what it is that you're trying to do. So if you are ultimately trying to grow a long-form channel, and in terms of like all of the content you're gonna be putting out on the channel is long-form, then in that case, using the Shorts feature might not be a great fit. I mean, it might bring some attention to your channel. You can absolutely, experiment with it. But that type of content and the time that it's going to take you to put together that type of content or even repurpose it, you just have to think like, okay, does it make sense to invest that time into this when I could be spending that on the thing that I'm actually going to be doing on the channel? Another thing to think about, since you already do have the content, is like, feel free to experiment. Just make sure that the content that you're uploading into the short shelf is still a perfect fit for the people that you're ultimately trying to reach with your YouTube channel. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a channel about one thing and then you're uploading the shorts about another thing. I see tons of people doing that with shorts. They have a YouTube channel about, this one specific thing, but then they're uploading like vlog content as a short. And it's just kind of like, who you're trying to reach here with this, right? Like there's like, well, what are you trying to do? So so because of that, just make sure that the shorts that you are putting out there, that they are, for the right audience. As we keep on running down this list here, we have Dr. Tonya. Oop, wrong one. Welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome
Same thing for you.
To the Niminati.
Same thing for you. Just look for Nimin VIP so that I can nimanvip.com. That will take you into the Facebook group, and make sure you fill out everything on the way in so that I can verify that you are a member on the way in. Auto Repair Tips, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Okay, so let's see here. As we keep on going here, I'm going to pull this one out of the forum, and then we will get back into the questions here directly from the chat. So this one's from May Gaming or My Gaming, and the type of channel is a gaming channel. Who here has a gaming channel? Just out of curiosity, if you have a gaming channel, just say me. But there's the gaming channel, and the type of channel is answering gaming questions. The question, is gaming or tech a higher RPM? I'm considering continuing gaming or going into tech. I consider both very good options. So just the RPM is the biggest difference. Okay, look. So we got a lot of gamers in here. Good. So when it comes to this, right, what you ultimately want to think about is you want to think about sustainability. So I know your question is like, what gets the highest RPM, but that's not the best approach when you are starting a YouTube channel. So the reason that I say that is if you're starting a YouTube channel with a team and all that good stuff to where you're like, hey, I'm starting this as a business thing, then in that case, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, in that case, I need to think about those sort of things. But if you're on a gaming channel and you're going to be answering gaming questions, and you're trying to figure out if you should do gaming or tech based on the RPM, one thing that you should be thinking about is sustainability. And the reason I want you to think about sustainability instead of the RPM is because you're going to be making a ton of content. You're going to be making content for a long time. So because of that, it's really important to make sure that what you're doing is sustainable and something that you really enjoy. So what I would do is I would say, okay, now if you're going to go full time on YouTube, I can tell you this, it's probably, unless you're really good at games to where when people watch your games, they're like, holy cow, this person's awesome. Unless that is you, the road to full-time on YouTube is probably going to be quicker in tech because it opens you up for like affiliate marketing and that kind of thing. So you can create additional income sources faster with tech content than you can with gaming when you're first getting started. So as an example of this, if you're doing tech and you're talking about a TV, well, if you are driving people to Amazon to buy that TV, well, right there with that video for every sale that you make on that TV or anything else that they buy, there's a good chance that, you're going to end up making, more than you would from your ad revenue. So when you're thinking of RPM, you want to think of like monetization as a whole. So ad revenue is one side of it, but then you also have additional things that you can do that, depending on how many views you're getting, can end up, being substantially more than what you would get from ad revenue. Let's see. I create videos for football players from other countries. So I think I don't get views because it's not my country. That's why I wish to change the country. No. So if you create videos from football players from other countries, then in that case, then, those football players from the other countries, it depends on how you're like talking in your videos and all of that. Like, for example, if you are, and I'm just going to use English as an example, but let's say that you are making content for an English market, but you have a really heavy accent for people that speak English. And that accent makes it really difficult where the people have to struggle to hear what it is that you say or understand what it is that you say. They're going to click off your video and they're just going to go watch somebody else that makes similar content that speaks their language. So because of that, I recommend that people do content in their own language in their own countries so that you can get some momentum there, learn how YouTube works and all of that, get good at that. Then once you get an understanding of the content, how to put content together for an audience, then try your hand at an English language channel from there, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to just give up because your channel's not doing well when you don't think about it from the perspective of maybe it's not doing well just because my accent is heavy or something like that. So, just something to consider when it comes to, trying to target other countries. Let's see here. So there's another one. Let's see here. Anthony Paul Lapini. Sorry about that. I don't know where I got Paul from. That's what at a glance looks like. Says, I got one more for a camera channel. What category should I be in? Sometimes I choose entertainment. Other times I choose science and tech. It's confusing. If you're a camera channel, I would do like film and animation or I would do science and tech, one of those two. If you're showing people how to do stuff, then that video could be like how to. But here's the thing. Your category, you want to set that just for a general idea for the initial publishing. But one thing that people don't know, unless you end up running across the information, is that in addition to the categories that we get to choose from, YouTube also has a bunch more categories that they put content into. So because of that, you're just giving it kind of a starting point based on a general idea of the closest fit for your content, but it's not something that your video is going to live and die by. So if you don't get it perfect, then it's not a big deal. YouTube's going to end up categorizing that content for you anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. Let's see here. As we keep on going, Small Engine Repair says, thoughts on milestone giveaways, whether stickers, gift cards. Also, sorry for small super chats. I figure I can spread out a bunch of small ones. Hey, it's cool, man. It's all good. So when you are doing giveaways and it's for a milestone and it's more of a like, hey, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'm giving, this thing away. That's cool. I totally support that. One thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to say, in order to win this, you have to be a subscriber or anything like that, because what you do in that case is it's called incentivization, and you are incentivizing people to subscribe to your YouTube channel by giving them the possibility of winning the thing that you're giving away. And YouTube just recently, in the recent past, they just recently made that rule to where you're not allowed to do that. So because of that, you want to avoid doing that sort of thing. But if you're like, hey, I crossed this milestone, it's awesome, thanks, I'm giving away this gift card, as a token of appreciation, you can do that all day long, not a big deal. Just keep in mind that with giveaways, in a lot of cases, people will come, if you frame an entire video around the giveaway, a lot of people will come in and interact with that giveaway that don't really care about content, in a lot of cases. So you want to make sure that, if you are doing something like that and you're not wanting to kind of pollute what's going on with your channel with people that aren't really a great fit for it because they're just coming in for the giveaway, you want to make sure that you're doing it in a situation to where it's for the people that are actually watching your videos. So for example, if you are putting a video together and you have, let's say, a 5-minute video, you might want to mention that giveaway at like the 3-minute mark. Oh, hey, by the way, you're somebody that watched my video for, a considerable period of time. I appreciate that. And I just crossed this milestone. I'm doing this giveaway. There's a form down in the description where you can, enter to win the giveaway. And we're going to be randomly picking somebody here, on this day and time or something like that. So then that way, the people that you are giving it away to are people that are the most engaged in what it is that you're doing. I'm considering doing that as well. Like, I've got, just because I've been doing this for a long time, I have, I've got, extra microphones and things like that. I'm considering giving away some stuff too, in a similar capacity, for some of those things. Just because, I would rather, somebody in the community have some of this stuff instead of it just like sitting in a shelf, right? So if it's something that I think that I might use in the future, I won't give it away. But if it's like, you know what, I'm not going to use this, then in that case, I'm considering doing something similar as well for the giveaways. Kitty says, why wouldn't you do 2 channels, one for gaming and one for tech, and see what happens? That's also an option. There's a, workload commitment with that one, but that's definitely an option as well. Nick just answers people who super chat. I do not. That actually would have been a great place to put your question because I would have just clicked on it. Let's see here as we keep on going. Again, if you have a question, make sure you put a Q in front of it so I know it's for me and not a side question. Let's see here. I do funeral live streams. Any suggestions to add video content that assists viewers of my channel with coping with grief and other funeral related issues? Like if you're going to be a resource for people that are going through that, with loved ones, then, just turning your channel into like an entire resource of, this is how you prepare, for a funeral. This is how you prepare for, the inevitable. This is how, this is how you work through the grieving process. This is, all the different stuff, but you turn your entire channel into something that helps people through that process. Personally, I think that's a win. Because you're serving a very specific audience there. There's going to be a lot of transients in terms of the person that subscribes because of one video. They're not necessarily, after they get through that process, going to need to keep coming back to your YouTube channel, so you're going to run into issues there. But in terms of building the channel as a resource, for people that are going through those things, that's definitely something that you can do. Let's see here as we keep on going through the list. Hey, Nick, is there an optimal interval to upload shorts as to not overlap the success of your own uploaded shorts on the shelf? So I personally, if I had a shorts channel, I would like, if I was doing a shorts channel, then I would do, like 3 times a week, maybe daily, just because it's shorter content. If I was mixing shorts content into my main channel, then I would just put it out at a slower cadence. So let's say that I did like a video like twice a week, then I would do a short once a week. If I did, a weekly video, then I would do a short maybe like once every other week or something like that. But you have to make sure that with shorts that it fits into the long-term goals of what it is that you're doing in the channel, and that you're pulling in the right audience by making content that is for the right viewers for that particular short. That would be a good crossover to the main content that you have on your YouTube channel. Auto Repair Tip says, what's the best lens for a Canon M50? I shoot a lot of footage under cars at low light. So for the M50, for live streaming, I have a recommendation for that one, but for actually like shooting with that camera, I'm not sure. I know that I'm always a big fan of for the Sony cameras, and they make them for Canons too. But I'm a really big fan of the Sigma 16mm because it does great in low light. But what you want to look for is you want to look for something that has a low f-stop. Because if it has a low f-stop, then it's going to create more depth of field or more blur in the background. So if you have something in the foreground, it's going to create more blur in the background. But if you don't have something close to the camera, then what's going to happen there is it's just going to operate better in low light. So for example, I can take this camera out when it's almost dark, and I can, not this camera, but I can take out one of the other cameras with this lens, and I can shoot something at pretty much dark, and you can still see it like it's pretty good. So this is a great low light lens that I highly recommend. But ultimately, what you're looking for is you're looking for a low f-stop. Let's see here as we keep on going through. We've got Simply Small Engine Repair says, I noticed YouTubers with millions of subs do that. I'm not sure which thing that was for on that one, so I just don't have the context in that one, so I apologize. Theory Element says, I see a lot of videos about how to properly optimize keywords for your videos, but rarely any videos covering what keywords to use for your channel via the settings. Any advice on that? Sure. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to just put, tons of them in there. Just limit yourself to like 10 or 12. And you want to just think about the things that best represent your channel. So, like for example, if you're doing tech, then tech would be in there. If you're doing Apple content, then of course Apple would be in there somewhere, or Apple reviews. If you're doing reviews, then of course you'd want to put reviews in there, that sort of thing. So in mine, you'll see like, YouTube tips, YouTube views or how to get views, something like that. I might have something in there about video editing, that sort of thing. So it's just kind of like a span of the different types of content that I create on the channel. I just put those in there for that. And that's ultimately what you need to do, because at the end of the day, the thing that's actually going to matter on your YouTube channel, like you want to make sure that you're filling in all of those boxes, right? You want to check all the boxes, make sure that you have everything filled out and that you're doing it correctly by, just giving context to what the channel's about. But ultimately, if you have great videos on your YouTube channel, that will eventually become irrelevant because your videos themselves are going to be doing getting all the attention for you, and that context isn't even going to be needed after a short period of time. But it is good to have that in there for the sake of, just getting it all going, so it helps YouTube better understand what's going on with your channel by the information that you input into those boxes. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, RHL's Estate? Hope that you are doing great. I'm not sure what the same thing is here. Let's see here as we keep on going down through the list here. Okay. Let's see. We've got how to get more views for my sit-down talks videos. So views on YouTube are generated by the response that people have when they interact with your content. So what does that mean? So when you publish your video, here's what happens. So you publish your YouTube video, YouTube tests that video on different surfaces on the platform. So you're gonna see that video pop up on a home page, you're gonna see that video pop up next to another video, depending on how you're optimizing things, it might even show up in search. But how people actually respond to it when they are showing it to people is going to determine if that video continues to get impressions or not. And what an impression is when somebody actually, not somebody, when YouTube shows your content to somebody on the platform. That counts as an impression. So an impression equals when YouTube shows your videos to somebody on the platform, your video. So if you are getting impressions or YouTube is showing your videos to people like on home pages or recommended next to other videos or in search, but people are not clicking on them, then right there, those are like negative points, so to speak. So that means that, after that happens a certain amount of time, then YouTube is going to not show your videos as much, and they're going to show other videos in its place. Now, if people do start clicking on your videos at a high rate to where people are like, yeah, this is great, and then they go in and they quickly leave your video, the same thing's going to happen to where YouTube's going to determine that people are just not responding positively to what it is that you're doing. And then your job as a content creator is to go through the process of learning how to get people to respond to what it is that you're doing. From another scenario, one thing that can happen is you are having your videos show up in all these places and people are clicking on them, and then people are enjoying the videos, they're subscribing to your channel, they're giving it a thumbs up, they're sharing it out to friends, they are subscribing and then coming back to your channel to watch additional videos, that kind of thing. And all of those are really good signals to YouTube that show people, or that show YouTube that people are responding to what it is that you're doing in a positive way. And when that happens, then YouTube continues to show your videos to people on the platform until people stop responding. And then the videos might go dormant for a little bit or just not get as much traffic. And then once YouTube, identifies more people that might be a good fit for it, they might test it against those people again, or, not again, but it might test it against those people. And then if they respond positively, then it can start that engine up all over again. That's where you'll see videos kind of go like this, and then they go down, and they'll go like this, and then go down, and go like this, and go down. So it all comes down to how people respond. So when you're sitting there talking, what you want to think about is okay, one, I need to be like super engaging in my communication. Two, I also need to make sure that I'm paying really close attention to how people are responding to what it is that I'm talking about and how I'm putting my videos together. Because like just sitting down and talking like I'm doing right now, like there's a reason that I have all these cameras firing off like all around me, right? And that reason is because I'm breaking up the scene. I'm trying to make things a little bit more interesting for the people when they come in here so that I can hold everybody's attention for just a little bit longer. So if they're listening to what I say, then, then I hold the attention of those people. But then for the people that come in here that have never seen my content before or anything, if they see a camera switch for them, then what I'm trying to do for those people is have them stay around just long enough looking at my stuff and seeing, oh, what's that in the background? Is that a stormtrooper helmet? Is that a router back there? Is that what he's got going on? Like I want people like looking around long enough to hear me talk for long enough to realize like, oh, hey, he's talking about like YouTube stuff. I'm a YouTuber. So yeah, this is, maybe I'll listen to this for a little bit. Like that's what I'm going for. But like when you are looking in your audience retention, you want to make sure that you are, or when you're looking in your stats, you want to make sure that with your talking head videos that you're just looking in your retention, you're looking out for things like, where are people leaving my video? And it can be to where you start talking about a certain topic. It could be to where you don't talk for a period of time because you're sitting there thinking. It could be to where you talk consistently for too much time and people start leaving because of that. So then you got to start working on like pattern interrupts and things like that. There's a bunch of reasons that can make people leave, but you need to, over time, just make a bunch of content so that you can start using the data that YouTube gives you in your audience retention to start determining the changes that you can make as a content creator to make your experience better when people click on your videos. Let's see here. Also, just as another quick thing, another low-hanging fruit, as long as your videos perform well there in terms of people clicking and watching, because that rule applies regardless. But another thing that you can do is you can actually talk about things that you could optimize your videos for search for as well. So you can use that as one traffic source while you're also trying to get attention from home pages and all of that. Let's see here. As we keep on trucking down through this list. Hey, just a quick heads up too. I just wanted to remind everybody. So, just in case you weren't here when the stream first started. So I have the opportunity again to speak at Vid Summit again this year, Vid Summit 2021, and I'm really excited for it. Super pumped that I got the opportunity to do it again. And I just wanted to let you know that there's a link for more information for that down in the description below this video. But Vid Summit is happening in LA. It's happening in September on the 28th through 30th. Now, Vid Summit is, if you're a YouTube content creator and you're taking all this stuff seriously and you like want to network with other content creators that are also taking this stuff seriously and you just want to have a great time, but while also learning a ton of stuff, Vid Summit is the thing that you want to go to, the conference that you want to go to if you have options, right? Even if you don't have options, you want to make plans for Vid Summit. It's an incredible conference. I've learned so much there, and I also just love going there and interacting with the other content creators, but I also love because I go there, right? Like you guys watch me, like you guys know that, you know, I'm knowledgeable about YouTube, but I go to Vid Summit to like learn more about YouTube, right? So I present there, but I also go there and listen to other speakers to learn more about YouTube. And I also network a lot there so that I can also learn more about other people's experiences and things like that as well. So, you know, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be speaking there again. And again, you can just go to vidsummit.com if you want information on that, or I've got a link to it down in the description below as well, which that link is also vidsummit.com. So I just wanted to just bring attention to that. So Neil Urban Explorer says, I'll be going and if the UK are flying there. Okay, nice. Yeah, I know, you know, there's some people in the chat here that, you know, that have been there before and all of that stuff. So, you know, you guys already know how awesome Vid Summit is. I know Vid Summit, like, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it changes a lot of people and their approach to creating YouTube content and, you know, everything it is that they're doing. Like when you go to Vid Summit and you're there and you're like paying attention and you go home and you apply the things that you learn, like it can really make a huge difference on what it is that you're doing. Let's see here. So can you give me some tips on being a good gaming channel? Because in my old channel, I stole content. Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to being a good gaming channel, you either want to be really good at helping people or you want to be really good at playing the game, or you want to have some type of unique gimmick or unique approach to what it is that you're doing with your gaming content. So what I mean by all those things is by helping people, that means that you're making content that helps people solve problems in the games that they're trying to play, how to beat certain characters, how to get past certain levels, things like that. And then when it comes to the being really good, that's where it's like, hey, this is all entertainment. It's all, you know, based on the personality and how good I am at these particular games. And then of course, there's the other side. Yeah, we got Travis MVP in the house. He's the voice of this.
Super chat.
And the voice of this.
Welcome to the Niminati.
He is. He also says that Vid Summit is a must as well. What's up, dude? Hope that you're doing fantastic. Let's see here. But when it comes to, let's see here, the gaming content. Yeah, but basically what you want to do is you just want to think like, okay, like what is it exactly that I'm offering on the channel? Because, you know, it's easy to say, okay, hey, I'm going to be a gaming channel and I'm just going to like play a game and have a good time. And like, that's just going to be the thing. But you also need to sit back and you need to think like, okay, well, if I'm doing that, then I can just do that with buddies or I can just do that by myself. But when I'm uploading that content to YouTube, I'm doing that because I want people to interact with it. I want people to see it. I want people to enjoy what it is that I'm doing as well. So because of that, you have to think of it from the perspective of, hey, I am uploading this content to the platform and other people are going to be experiencing this. So when I'm putting it together, what value am I going to attach to the content in terms of what other people are getting out of what it is that I'm making? And with that value that I'm attaching to the content, like how am I going to put this together in the best possible way to create an awesome experience for people as they're going through the content itself? Yeah, Paul Peck Drywall Tube, he also goes to Vid Summit as well. I see him in here also. I know Vigard was there. I know Doug, he was there also a year before last. We had a great time over there. Good times. Simply Small Engine Repair says, can't afford the 1,000 to go. Yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, it's not for everybody. That's where, you know, that separation happens in terms of like, you know, just the people that are like really serious versus like, I mean, you don't have to, you know, like by saying I'm not going to spend the $1,000, that doesn't mean you're not serious, but I just mean, you know, like there's just a certain, you know, type of commitment that goes with that. And some people, you know, are, you know, looking for that. Other people are not. For me personally, even if I'm not speaking there, like for me, like Vid Summit, like if I could only go over there for one, it's Vid Summit. Like there's other conferences over there that are great too. Like Social Media Marketing World is amazing. Like if you are into, if you're into that one, happens in Man, I just blanked out. But that one's also in California. But basically with Social Media Marketing World, that one covers like all of social media, including YouTube, which is great. So if you're somebody that's hitting YouTube, plus you're on Instagram, plus you're on TikTok, all of that, then, you know, Social Media Marketing World is also fantastic. More so if you're a marketer than just a content creator. Vid Summit is you're a content creator who is also turning your YouTube channel into a business, or you're taking it seriously from a business perspective. That's what, you know, Vid Summit is for. And they also cover, you know, like TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff too. But for YouTubers, for you guys specifically, like Vid Summit is the jam. Okay, so let's see here. Let's keep on trucking here. Let's see here. So Tim Wolf says that he'll be going there for the first time. I'd love to meet you and fist and bump fists with you there. Nice, love it. Okay, so let's see here. We will keep on trucking here. Let's see here. Kitty says, how many people usually attend Vid Summit? I don't know. It's not a ton, but I mean, it's a fair amount. Like you know, you're busy. Like when you go to Vid Summit, like you're busy from pretty much as soon as you decide to get busy until the time that you're like, you know what, I'm done talking to people. I just have so much info in my brain that I'm just done talking to people for the day. And usually even then, like, you know, there'll be, you know, like to where people will hang out at somebody's hotel afterwards, or, you know, if like TubeBuddy, like in our case, if like TubeBuddy gets a house, then sometimes, you know, they'll bring us all over there, you know, to the TubeBuddy house. And then, you know, like other people will come and hang out, that kind of stuff too. So it's cool. Really cool thing. Okay, so next up on our list here is from, we did my gaming already. So Road to Finish says that they do educational content. The goal of the channel is to help international students get degrees and get their career started in Finland. And the question says, hey, Nick, I hope that you're doing fantastic. I am. Thank you. I hope that you're also doing fantastic. Says, I've been thinking about incorporating shorts into my content strategy, but I've not yet seen any data about how well they perform in search, both YouTube and Google. Do you have any insights about this topic? I've never seen shorts show up in search. Doesn't mean they don't, but I've just never seen it. When it comes to shorts, don't think of it from a search perspective. Think of it from the perspective of, I have an opportunity to put content somewhere that doesn't have tons of people putting content on there compared to the tons of people that are uploading long form video content, and then determine like, okay, the shorts that I would be putting up, how good of a fit are they for the audience that I'm trying to bring in for my channel? And if I am going to use shorts on my channel, how can I make shorts that are just laser fit to be able to grab somebody's attention, bring them in, introduce them to me and my content, but then also get them to subscribe, or just get them to subscribe so that hopefully YouTube will continue to show them more of your shorts and or your long form content. As we keep on running through the list. Okay, Mailover says, I got 35 ID claims on my channel for using and heavily modifying a short clip of SpongeBob, even with fair use. Will reanimating and revoicing the clip protect me from getting claimed? So here's the thing with content ID claims is when you run into that situation, like you can modify stuff sometimes and all that, and you still run into issues. This is why I'm always telling people, I'm like, you know, if you are putting out content based on other people's content, then, you know, you do run those risks. So because of that, you have to be able to say like, okay, well, you know, if I take an L on this, then I take an L on it, right? Like it can work, like it can, you know, you can do awesome by doing, you know, certain types of things around, you know, other people's content. But when you do that and you start walking into that territory, you know, you are putting yourself at risk. That's why I'm always saying, you know, contact a copyright attorney and have the conversation with them, because they are the person that's going to be defending you in court in the event that things escalate to, that. Tier Talk, what's up? Hope that you're doing awesome. Thank you for the super chat. It says, what milestones with your channels are good to celebrate with giveaways? It's your call. You know, that's the cool thing with, you know, with doing all this stuff is you can do everything as you wish to do it. So, you know, if you wanted to do, you know, 10,000 subscribers for one, 50,000 for another, and 100,000 for another, that's cool. If you wanted to wait and like, hey, I get to 1 million subscribers, then, you know, I'm doing something cool, then, you know, you can do that too. So it's, you know, it's totally your call. Of course, I would do it on a round number. So I would do it on a round number for the sake of making sure that you are, you know, that it's just easy on your side. Like, hey, I just crossed, you know, 10,000 subscribers, so we're going to do it there instead of like 10,807. Unless you wanted to be gimmicky about it, then you could do that. Yes, we just crossed 10,872 subscribers. Super pumped up. We're doing a giveaway this weekend. You know, you could definitely do that as well. All right, so let me share this out really quick, just in case anybody wants to come in here. Let me get my Facebook thing opened. Facebook thing. Okay, I have to find this group again since it cut down. And we've got that. Booyah. And then link incoming. Booyah again. Okay, so I just dropped the link in there. We'll see if anybody comes in or not. I'm not sure, but we will. We'll see. I just dropped the link. We might have some special guests coming on here today. Okay, so next up on our list here, we've got, let's see here. We are into Amongify. Amongify says that they do entertainment content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, why am I losing subscribers every day? So just as a heads up, losing subscribers on YouTube is a normal thing. People subscribe for a bunch of unsubscribe for a bunch of different reasons. And because of that, it's really important to make sure that you are, just keeping that in mind when you are seeing a loss in your subscriber count. So when it comes to subscribers, I'm actually going to just show you something here really quick, possibly. Let's see here, see more. Actually, here, let's do it this way. Yeah, let's go see more. Let's go to subscribers lost. So just as a heads up, because I haven't checked this in a while, this is why I'm doing it now. And then we're going to do lifetime. So over my YouTube career, I've lost 245,988 subscribers. So in terms of, hey, I'm losing subscribers, just keep in mind, it's a normal, it's a normal part of the thing. People unsubscribe for lots of different reasons. And, you want to be mindful of, hey, these videos always lose me subscribers. So then you can make sure that you can understand, hey, Beanie, what's up, man? So you can make sure that you understand that, hey, when I publish this type of video, people typically subscribe to these more, unsubscribe to these more. So in my case, these live streams typically give me a negative. So I typically take a loss in subscriber count here, but my watch time is great. Plus I just love live streaming. Plus I just love interacting with you guys. So because of that, I'm like, that's fine. Not a big deal. And I just keep doing them anyway. So, it just fits into, what it is that I'm doing because it's something that I enjoy, even though I take an L on the subscriber count. So when you are losing subscribers, you just have to make sure that you are thinking to yourself like, hey, am I losing subscribers because I keep putting out content they don't like? And if that's the case, then of course it's helpful to just keep making content that people like. But if you have content that you also love to make, then in that case, it's like, well, okay, well, if I love live streaming, like, in my situation, then I'm just gonna keep doing it regardless of, if people, end up, unsubscribing, during a live stream or whatever. So, it's all about that. Can I share? Give me 1 second here. I don't think that I can. No, I can't. I was seeing if I could do a region in StreamYard, but it doesn't look like I can because I was wanting to share this without sharing like too much info here. But it's all right. I told you, so that'll be good enough, I think. So okay. So next up on our list here, we have. Let's just pull them right out of here since you got the queue. Are you okay with changing the description box? I've heard it shouldn't be touched for 48 hours. Yeah, you can change the description box. Like if you don't go in there and just constantly keep making changes to it. But if you publish a video and you notice like, oh, I forgot to put this link in there, or oh, I said this, the wrong way, or I have a misspelling or whatever it is, then just go in and change it. Like it's not gonna be a big deal. So if you are just constantly in there changing things, then that can make things a little bit weird. But if you just go in there, you make a change and you update it, you're gonna be fine. The issue comes from like trying to game it to where it's like, hey, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to change this description and to change the title, and then I'm going to wait an hour, and then I'm going to change the description and title again, then I'm going to wait another hour, and I'm going to do it again. Like that's where things can get a little bit weird. But if you're like, hey, I made a mistake, I just need to go in there and like fix something, it's not a big deal at all. Go ahead and make the change. Let's see here as we keep going. What sort of niche but useful tech gear would you recommend for things like video cameras and microphones for beginner YouTubers? This is a good question. Okay, so I would recommend trying to think of how you can put something together depending on what it is that you do. Like if you do content where you have your camera on a tripod, then in that case, I would try to figure out how to build a Frankenstand so that you can. And I know people have videos about this on YouTube, but a Frankenstand is basically to where you have one mobile. Here, I'll just show you if you want to see it. Hold on, really quick, I'll show you.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my Frankenstand. So basically with this thing, what it is, let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. Okay, so basically with this stand, I have on here, let me take this down just so you can see. You know what, I wonder if I switch to this, hold on, if it would be better. Yeah, I think you might be able to see it better that way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe here. So I'll just leave it here for now. So let me turn this switcher off here so that it doesn't keep interrupting, and I'll just show you the thing. Oops, macros. Where is my macro? And stop for now. Okay, so basically with my Frankenstand, I have my camera on here just like you normally would with a tripod, right? And then coming up here in the top, this is where my boom mic is attached, but I have it attached, and if I turn this, I have this attached with it's going into the hot shoe of a camera, and then that comes up, and then I have this like little contraption, this little adapter contraption, and then I have a boom arm on top of this that brings it out and gets the microphone close to me, so that when I'm recording, this actually gets tilted out like this. And if I'm like sitting in the stool, for example, then it gets tilted out, and then it's just out of frame, so it's still close to me, but it's far enough, you know, close to me. I mean, like this is close to me enough so that so it still gives, you know, good solid audio. And then I also have my microphone interface here, because this requires an XLR output that plugs into this, and this gives it phantom power to actually turn it on. And then that is here, but I have the adapter from a C stand that I have clamped onto the tripod here, and then that allows me to have this little extension coming out of the side to where I put a tension arm on that, and that is what holds this interface. And then I also have on top of this the monitor. So down here on the actual tripod part, there's like this little bar going across. I've attached a power source so that I can also flip this on. And then when I flip this on, I don't have to worry about batteries or anything like that, because everything is plugged in to this little box down here in the bottom. And then that makes it to where I can easily, you know, just move this around the room. The entire thing's on wheels, so I can just move it around the room and shoot wherever it is that I want. Now, in addition to that, and it looks like it's getting ready to fall off actually up here. But in addition to that, I also have a light that is also coming from I have a, this is a Manfrotto C clamp, I think it's, no, it's a, what's it called? It's a Manfrotto super clamp. That's what it's called, a Manfrotto super clamp. But with this super clamp, oh, that was weird. Yeah, with this super clamp, basically what this does is this allows me to clamp to that thing that I took from the C stand, and then I have an Elgato arm here that would normally be used for like a key light, or, you know, to put a camera on or something like that. I have that going up, and that actually has a twisty here to where when I turn this, I can extend this pole as high as I want. And then I have an LED light here from Aperture with a softbox on it, so that literally everything is all contained right here on this one stand. You know, even the power sources and all of that. So, you know, on my end, that just makes everything easy, because when it comes time to make a video, then I don't have to do a bunch of stuff. I can just slide it into place. And then when I slide it into place, I don't have to spend a bunch of time setting up the light and, you know, all of that. I can just do the thing. Now, fortunately, in my case, I also have if we switch to here, you know what, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it from any of these. I need the GoPro for it. But I also have a truss that's going over here, and that's where I have, you know, like I have a light mounted over there. I've got the camera, of course, mounted to the truss. I've got this big light here mounted to the truss as well, and it gets everything up off the floor. But I also have another light over here, so I can actually move this if I want over to that area and shoot back into that way. And then I also have these additional lights that I can tap into there as well. But, you know, those types of things are also really awesome. But in addition to that, other things that are really helpful for your studio are things like the Manfrotto clamps that I was talking about, because with that, like this camera right here, you can see on the back over here. If I switch to this one, you might see it better. No, you can't. Yeah, so I'll hold it here, but basically you can see on this camera, there's a bar. It looks like it's mounted to the monitor, but it's not. It's actually mounted to a a tension arm, a Manfrotto tension arm that is connected to a super clamp, and that allows this camera to be able to be there in that spot. And then I have the same exact setup for the camera over here, to where everything just mounts to the desk, and it has rubber pads on it and all that. And this desk is sturdy enough to where it'll move if I shake it, but for the most part, like, it's sturdy enough to be able to handle all of the things being attached to it, and it not bouncing all over the place all the time. So so hopefully that shared some insight on that. But in addition to that, so gear for new YouTubers. So yeah, I would definitely get a Franken stand together, just some type of efficient kit. It doesn't even have to be a stand. Like, even if you're vlogging, having some type of kit that you put together to where it's like a backpack, and in this backpack, if I'm vlogging, I know in this pocket I have this lens, this pocket I have this lens, I've got my camera in here, I've got extra batteries, I've got other things too. Here, let me show you this. These types of things are cool just for the sake of organizing stuff. This is just a simple card case. And with this card case, it allows you to be able to just organize, memory cards and, stuff like that. You can just snap them into place. What I do is, when I have ones that I have used, like let's say that I take a trip to the States, right? Like I'll be doing for Vid Summit. Let's say I take a trip to the States, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go out and record like a vlog style video, and I'm just going to fill up a memory card. Then what I do is, when that memory card is full, instead of having the brand side out with the sticker, I'll just flip it over. And if I see it like this, that means, if it's like that, to me, that means like, no, you do not use this one because it has information on it, right? So just little things like that, I would definitely look into as well, just on the organizational side, to make sure that you have what you need when you need it. Because the last thing that you want is, as you are, putting all your stuff out there and you're making content and all that, last thing you want is to put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, man, I needed that, and I would have been able to make this video if I had it, but then you don't have it. I've not used a Babyface Pro. I've never even heard of it, actually. I'm gonna Google for it right now, just leave it in the background. Babyface Pro interface. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that up in the background so I can check that out later, but I haven't used that. I haven't used that before. Let's see here. How to vlog that everyone watch your vlog. Okay, you got to make good vlogs. So what I recommend that you do is go look at the Dope Squad. They're a great example of just making good content that people enjoy watching. That's like Peter McKinnon, like those guys. Go watch them. Go watch Matt Diavella. He's another one that that is just really good at what it is that he does. You can also watch Retired Working for You. He's a Thai channel. He speaks English, but I mean he runs around Thailand, makes all of his content on his phone. I've got a video. He crossed 100,000 subscribers in like 10 months on his YouTube channel, and we have a video on my channel explaining like what he kept in mind while he was going through his process and all of that in order to make it happen. But you can do that sort of thing as well. But it comes down to you're doing your vlog, but you also have to think of the value that the viewers are getting out of that vlog that you're putting out as well. Because even though the vlog's about you, it's also about the viewers. That's why you're publishing it to YouTube, right? So you gotta be able to build that bridge between you doing your thing versus you making it of value for the people that are watching. And that value can simply be entertainment, but you just have to make sure, if that value is entertainment, that you are actually entertaining, and your stats are going to tell you if you're entertaining or not. Let's see here. So White Noise Studio says that he's done a review on the Babyface. Oh, okay. So it's just an audio. Is it just an audio device? Let's see here. High-end USB audio interface. Okay. Yeah. So I also have like a little music area as well. I'll actually check out your review. Like back over here, I've got like music stuff, which all the lights shut down after the power thing. But I've got I've got my my 88 key keyboard over there. I just picked up an Akai MPD 218, for hammering out drums, because I was doing that on the keyboard, but I was like, let's just do it on drums now, or do it on a drum pad. But basically, those are my two main things that I use over there. But yeah, I'll actually look into that. Currently, I use my Rodecaster, and then I just turn off all the audio processing on the Rodecaster, but it's not needed over there. So my original intention when I got it was to use it over there for when I do podcast interviews and things like that. But I decided I'm just going to keep that as music. So because of that, I have an extra Rodecaster over there that I'll probably just kind of decommission until D comes back, and then we'll probably use it in the studio. It's kind of the plan for it anyway. I got to talk to D, make sure he's cool with that as well. But as long as he is, then we will probably switch over to that over there. Let's see here. Vigard says that most filmmaking channels now are just entertainment now, very little learning. Entertainment gets you a long way. You know, entertainment is great because, you know, like learning is good because it's great for setting your foundations. And then on the entertainment side, you know, once you can, you know, blend in entertainment into it, then it just opens you up, you know, for a lot more people, because then you're not just reaching the people that are trying to learn a specific thing. You're also, you know, leaning on the entertainment side, which is a lot more broad. So for example, in the filmmaking world, you can make a video about, you know, like how to color grade your footage. That is teaching people how to do something, and there's value in that. That's like, you know, good search traffic. However, if you did, you know, something on that's just more broad on the entertainment side, then you're going for, you know, a lot more people in that situation where it's a lot more entertaining. Let's see. So as we keep going through the list here, we miss D on Nim and Live. I miss D too. Yeah, I definitely miss D too. I miss having him here on the live stream, and I miss, you know, just hanging out and drinking coffee with him. And like, he hasn't even seen my new place yet, right? Like, I got a new place, he hasn't even seen it yet. Like, you know, except through like video calls and stuff. But like, I'm excited just for him to come here and just give me his input, because like he's really creative when he comes to stuff like this. So he'll probably come in here and he'll give me tons of advice on ways that I can make this room like way better. And I'll take that advice and I'll probably do it. Like this whole projector thing in the background, like that's all D. I was like, hey man, I was like, D, I'm trying to figure out like, you know, something that I can do that, you know, that stands out a little bit different, because everybody's doing like the RGB and all that now. So, you know, like, you know, do you have any ideas or something I can do? He's like, dude, you should do like a projector back there. I was like, D delivers again. You know, he delivers again. So I was like, yep, okay, on it. Went on a hunt for a projector. Simply Small Engine Repair says, I made a video where I shoot some things with a gun, and people say that I can't do it on YouTube, but rules don't say that you can't shoot stuff up. Yeah, you can. You can absolutely, you know, make videos like that. You'll see other videos where people will shoot through, like, you know, I think there's a video specifically about like how many Hershey bars does it take to stop a bullet, that kind of stuff. So, you know, those videos are all over YouTube. It's fine. YouTube does have, not YouTube, but YouTube does have some issues in terms of like your thumbnails. So you know, if you have that type of imagery in your thumbnail, then, you know, it can, you know, cause some issues sometimes. So I would just be really careful about that. I would focus more on the thing that you are practicing on instead of the actual, you know, equipment that you're using. Let's see here. As we keep on going through the list here. That's awesome. You have someone like D who can deliver that for you. Yeah, D's awesome. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I'm doing a vlog on my channel, but I want to upload reaction videos for the first time. Is it good or bad for your channel? So I'm a big fan of experimentation. If you are thinking to yourself, hey, I want to try something on my channel, I think it would be, you know, kind of a good fit for my audience, and it ultimately serves the channel goals, then give it a shot. You know, like, you uncover a lot of stuff with experimentation. Like, technically, I wouldn't even be making YouTube help content if it wasn't for experimentation. So, you know, like I started making content on this channel, and it wasn't about like YouTube related stuff. Like, I had my very first video is about overcoming camera shyness. So that one is about YouTube, but it was more about general camera shyness for YouTubers, internet marketers, you know, like that kind of stuff. And then from there I was doing like productivity content. And then I went and worked on another channel, came back to this channel. And then I still wasn't 100% on the YouTube stuff yet. But I knew I was going after video content creators. And then after that, I ended up making a video about SEO, search engine optimization for YouTube. And in the comments, we were like, oh, this is great. Could you make another one of these? And I was like, yeah, let me make another one. And then I just kept, you know, kind of walking down that road and, you know, sharing the information. Any tips for fast workflow on editing YouTube videos? Absolutely. What you want to do is, one, if possible with your content, recording clips. That can make it easy, because then that way, depending on your editing software, you can just like tap on the clip, see exactly what it is that you say. And when you're repeating things, then you know that's not the right clip. And then you always stop in the last clip where you know that you nailed it. And then that way you can just go to the one where it starts a little bit different, or where it starts differently, and back up one. And then you know that's the right clip to use. In addition to that, working off of templates is great because when it comes to templates, if you have an end screen that you always put in your videos, you don't have to go find it. So it speeds things up. If you have an intro that you put in your videos, you don't have to go find it. So it speeds things up. If you have graphics of any kind that show up in your videos, you have them within that starting template, and then you don't have to go and find stuff all the time. So because of that, all you do is you just have one folder called template, and then you have the entire template set up inside of there, copy and paste that template, and then name it to whatever the video name is. And then when you open it up, all your stuff's already in there, and then you just have to add the videos themselves, and then you move in all the graphics and things like that, or extra B-roll if you have common B-roll that you use. You move all of that stuff around, based on how the actual video, is put together. So those things are helpful. Let's see here, what else? Making sure that when you are putting your content together, that you're organizing things properly as well. So, for example, if you have B-roll and you're like, hey, I know, and B-roll, just in case anybody doesn't know, B-roll is when you are putting extra footage on the footage that you have. So for example, if this was me and this was the main, camera or whatever, then B-roll could sort of technically be these, because I guess they would still be A-roll since I'm switching camera, but the idea is that, you just have additional footage that goes on top of, your main footage. That's what B-roll is. But if you're going to be using a lot of B-roll or a lot of the same screenshots, things like that, then having that footage to where it's organized, to where it's readily available for you and you can easily find what it is that you need is also really advantageous. To where you literally, instead of just having, MZ004.mp4, you have, park as the title of your B-roll footage. You have like park, let's see here, you have park, walk, bench, birds. As that particular thing, because those are things that happen in that video. And then you can just go into your folder search there, and you can just type in like birds, and then all the stuff where you've tagged it with birds is going to come up, and then you have that footage that you can use, over and over again as you need it, those sorts of things. And then Vigard, who does the videos for my channel and who is amazing at what he does as well. I just have to make sure I say that also, Vigard, because you're awesome. Says, just edit more, then edit some more. And the more that you do it, the faster that you get. Yeah. Also, in addition to the practice, you can also use presets also, for, different processing things like, we have, and he dials it in even better, but we also have like color presets that we use and things like that. And then he, puts his finishing touches on them and dials everything in perfectly. But we have like a nice starting point of the color and things like that also. Let's see here. Yes, that is correct. So Max Chill Relax says, don't do sub for sub, guys. It's useless. You lose subs and you may get your channel terminated as well. Yes, that's considered spam. I just made a video about this. That's considered spam, and you can absolutely get your channel terminated. Channels get terminated because of this every day. Eric Waite Wisty Studies, thank you for the shout there, saying that if you want to learn about how to do YouTube while driving to work, listen to my podcast, Comments Over Coffee. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Eric. I appreciate it. But yeah, the podcast is called Comments Over Coffee. And I upload to that. I just started uploading to it again last week, and I will have another episode going out either Monday or Tuesday of this coming week also. Let's see here, but I've got a bunch of episodes in there already, and it's basically where I just answer questions, and you can submit questions there as well, which I encourage people to do, just so that when I go in there, I've got, like your specific questions that you want to know, and then that's what I do basically what I do here with answering questions is what I do in the podcast, but it's all short form based around the specific question. Let's see here. Saying I need to turn on some lights, not enough light to see it. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Maybe you're talking about when I was doing, you might be further back in the stream, where I was doing the Frankenstein. Let's see here. For the first few hours, my videos ranks higher in search, but after a few days, my video does not appear in search rankings. This happens to every video on my channel. Why? The reason for that is because your videos are not performing in search competitively compared to the other videos that are showing up for the same things that you're targeting, for the same keywords or keyword phrases that you're targeting. So YouTube search, it works just like every other surface on the platform, to where it's based on performance. If your videos show up in search for a few days and people don't respond to them when they're looking for that query, then in that case, then YouTube is going to demote those videos, and in their place, they're going to show videos that people click on more and people watch for longer periods of time than the people that are interacting with, than they do your content, right? So if you're not maintaining search results, then the content needs to get better, and your ability to get people to click needs to get better so that you can, get into search and maintain some good results there. Not enough light to see what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm not sure what that means on the not enough light thing. So I'll just keep on trucking. I got 400 subs. Is there specific on how many viewers should watch? No. So what you want to think about is, instead of being really connected to, hey, I have this many subscribers, so I need to get at least 400 views on a channel, just keep paying attention to your stats. As your channel grows, as you get more information from how people are responding to what it is that you're doing, just keep using that information as a tool to pull from, so that you can start identifying why people stay and why people leave your content, so that you can start putting your content together in a way that you get people to stay for a longer period of time. And in addition to that, you also need to be able to, practice the art of getting people to click on what it is that you're doing. And if you just focus on those things and you don't focus on like, hey, I've got this many subs, I need to have this many viewers, and hey, how come I'm losing, a subscriber a day? When you're thinking, and I just had a conversation with Brian G about this, but like when you're having conversations or thoughts like that, like when it comes to like the results that you want to get on YouTube, those questions are important because, those are things that just, end up coming to your brain anyway. But what you want to start doing is you want to start lifting those questions up. So instead of thinking like, hey, I'm losing a subscriber a day, what's going on? That is important because you want to make sure that you're not, kind of messing up, the stuff that you're putting out for the people that you're trying to reach. But ultimately, the thing that's going to grow your channel is new people coming in and interacting with your content, and subscribers coming back and interacting with your content. So because of that, you have to kind of walk that line of like, I'm going to just focus on learning through the stats that YouTube gives me, how people are responding to each thing. And I'm just going to focus on, getting those numbers better, and just ultimately learning, hey, these are the types of things that, my viewers enjoy. These are the types of things that they don't enjoy. And then I'm going to modify the way that I'm doing things based on that, but still in alignment with, with me getting joy out of being a content creator, but you need to make those modifications in order to just continue to make good content. Let's see here.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
How do you know when to stop trying new things on your channel? Don't ever stop trying new things on your channel. Of course, if you have something that's working, then you want to make sure that you're doing that thing that's working. But even within that, you want to experiment from time to time. So for example, like I've got in my content schedule, I know in my phone, I've got like 10 different ideas of some stuff I'm going to be experimenting with coming up. In my content schedule, I think I've got, like maybe one or two, but I've got some stuff that I'm going to be experimenting with as well here. And I'm actually really curious. Some of you will dig it. Some of you will be like, why is Nick making videos like this? And that's fine. But what I'm going for is with those experiments is I'm going to, is I'm just going to put them out there and just kind of, just see how you guys dig them. Let's see here. So I just saw the question here from Zoe saying you didn't answer my super chat. So let me refresh the page here. And if I see it, then I will get it. Okay, so thanks for bringing that to my attention. Zoe says, I want to commit to YouTube, but I'm worried that the platform will die off in the coming years, resulting in wasted time and effort. What do you think? I think that is like you're basically operating from a place of fear versus a place of potential, or a place of, positivity in that situation. Or I would, fear versus potential. So, one, I have no idea why you're thinking that YouTube will die off in the coming years. But let's say that you put in effort into your YouTube channel. Let's just kind of workshop this for a second. Let's say that you put effort into your YouTube channel and your YouTube channel starts doing well. And let's say because of that, you start creating all of these connections in the content world and the content creation world. You start creating all these connections with all these other people, and it starts bringing a lot of attention to you and starts building a lot of bridges into different things that you never expected, starts generating a lot of income for you and all that stuff. And then it all, there's a problem of some kind, or they make a change of some kind, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, content creators aren't welcome here or whatever, then in that case, you've created so many new connections, you've generated income from it, you've done, all these different things that are a positive, and you've built the skill sets that are required in order to make all that stuff happen. And then if something were to happen to YouTube, like, it's crystal clear how much user-generated content, or how valuable user-generated content is, because all of the platforms use it. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, it's all user-generated content. So because of that, when you learn the process of doing this, then and what it takes to do it, and you go through that process of committing and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to figure it out. Once you figure it out, and once you start putting out content that people respond to, then you can see what that blueprint looks like. And then you can take that, if you choose to, if something were to happen to your channel or whatever, or if you just wanted to do more on other channels, then one thing that you can do is you can take all of those skills that you learned, and all that knowledge that you have, and all those connections that you've created, and that audience that you've built, and you can move that to another platform, or at least partly to another platform, and start doing your thing there, or multiple platforms, and you can start doing that there. So this is why it's important to make sure that you're, also thinking like, hey, I should have a Twitter account even if I'm not using it, so I can slowly start sending people over there. I have an Instagram account even if I'm not using it, so I can slowly start sending people over there. In the event something does happen, you have these other things that you can, start, making sure that you let people know, hey, something happened here, so I'm moving over here, that type of thing. But I can tell you this, like, with life, hey, what's up, David? Hope you're doing awesome, my man. Oops.
Super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Says, have I told you lately that I love you? You have not, my man. Well, actually, maybe you did, like the other day. If that big long email that you sent expressing your love for me with all of those like awkward pictures, if that was that, then yeah, you have. But if that's not what you're talking about, then no, it's been a while. Hope that you're doing great, man. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Let's see here. So another thing that I want you to think about too, on the thing of like, I want to commit to YouTube, but I'm worried that the platform will die off in the coming years, is that anything that you do, like life itself, is uncertain. So it doesn't matter what it is that you do. The chances of that thing, or the direction of your life, or just like your day-to-day experience being modified in some way over time, like, it's guaranteed. Like, something is always changing. Like, what's the thing? Like, the only thing certain in life is change. So because of that, like anything that you do, there's a risk involved. It doesn't matter if you are doing a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter if you're going to work some job somewhere that in your brain you perceive as a good job. It doesn't matter if you're starting some type of business. It doesn't matter if you're getting into a relationship. It doesn't matter if you are doing anything. Like, there's always risk involved. So because of that, when you're not doing something because it could possibly sometime, maybe down the road in the future, years away, possibly change in some way, then you're in my opinion, you're taking a very limited approach, instead of saying like, hey, sure, it might change, but there's also a lot of potential, and since there's a lot of potential, maybe I should focus on that and try to tap into that potential. And then if I see a change coming, then in that case, then I've developed all the skills and stuff I was talking about before, to where I can start trying to get something going somewhere else. Eric Wait Whiskey Study says, I love bacon and Nick Niven, not sure which I love more.
Super
bacon.
chat.
It's always the answer. Bacon is always so it's like, hey, there's bacon, and then there's anything else. Bacon. Yeah, bacon's the winner there. Let's see here. I actually only like crispy bacon. I don't eat a lot of bacon, so I'm just kidding about the whole loving bacon over everything else thing. But crispy bacon is the only type of bacon that I can like really get into. How can you add value to your videos? I try making them shorter and getting to the point more, but my audience retention still isn't great. So value isn't, basically value is what people get out of your content. So making your videos shorter isn't value. What people get out of your content is value. So for example, the value that people get out of my content is they walk away from my videos knowing more about YouTube, or being a content creator, or the process of being a content creator, depending on the video they're watching. They learn a skill, be it video editing. They learn about a resource if I'm bringing attention to something like a sponsor thing, or a tool, or whatever it happens to be. So they learn a resource, or they learn how to do something easier. Or they just learn something they didn't know. Like the last video that I put out on my channel is about 4 things that you can get your channel deleted. And there's people in the comments like, whoa, I'm doing some of these things. So right there, I could have possibly saved some of those people from getting their channels deleted deleted in the future. So that's the value that I'm bringing with my content. And in here, right, I'm answering specific questions that everybody asks here during the live stream. So because of that, you're taking, somebody that has experience and you're able to tap into that experience during these live streams. And that's the value that I'm giving here. So when it comes to your content, let's do another one since David is in here. So, we have David from Impartial Geek in here as well. So like in his case, he's motivating content creators. He's sharing the tech related to doing all this stuff and teaching people about, all the tech and everything involved with being a content creator. So with him, same boat to where, people interact with his content. They leave being smarter about what it is that they're doing or just understanding something a little bit deeper. So that's the value that they're getting. When entertainment channels are putting out their content, entertainment is the value that people get. They're engaged in that content. And since they're engaged in that content, they can forget about everything else that's going on in their lives. They can forget about the thing that we're all dealing with in the world right now. They can forget about everything else because their attention is in that video of entertainment. So that's the value that they're getting, is they're able to be entertained while also being distracted from everything else, right? Same thing goes for any type of content, that does well on YouTube, even vlog content. Vlog content, the people get to use that as entertainment. They also get to use vlog content as a way to see new places and see into lifestyles that they may or may not be able to access themselves. And through people that they find, entertaining or funny or interesting or whatever it happens to be. So when it comes to the value, we all interpret value in different ways. But at the end of the day, through your content, it's important to think of how can I mix what it is that I'm sharing? Like, how can I mix some really strong value into what it is that I'm doing so that every video that people watch, there's something that they get out of it. So that guy that I mentioned earlier, with the Retired Working For You channel, with his channel, one of the things that he mentioned in the video that he made that's on my channel was that I think it was informative and fun was the value that he was going to focus on for his content. So he's doing vlog style content in terms of he's running around town, showing people all these different things, but he's also sharing information in there about the area, and he's doing it in a fun way. So he's entertaining people while he's informing them about all these different things within Thailand. And, people, and he has a great personality and knows how to put content together, and people, really respond positively to him and to the value that they're getting from the content that he puts out. So when it comes to adding value to your content, what value is just thinking from the perspective of the people that are watching your videos and thinking to yourself, for the people that are watching my videos, what are they getting out of what it is that I'm doing? Right? So like a lot of content creators, they just want, and I'm not saying that you're this way, but a lot of content creators, they want to just put up videos and then people just be like, oh my gosh, you're awesome. This is great. Like, I just want to come and watch every video that you have. Like, that's what everybody wants. But in reality, like, you're not going to get that unless you're giving some type of value in exchange. So, it's really important to be able to identify that value. David says, I asked you to keep my love email private. You just upset 29 other people in here. I didn't see any disclaimers in that email. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna plead whatever amendment I have to plead on that one in order to get out of that one. Oh, hilarious. Next up, we have Fitness World Explorer says, I would love your advice on my channel. I've worked on thumbnails and keywords. Perhaps the topics are still too common. Genuinely just want to help others get exercising. Thanks, Lee. So I'm not pulling up channels here during the live stream. However, that is something that we do inside of our members only VIP group. So if you're a channel member, then in that case, you would want to post that link in the Facebook group under the specific thread that we have for that. But since you're not a channel member, I actually don't pull that stuff up here on the streams at this moment in time. So I won't be able to look at your channel. Let's see here. Jim Skull, welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Niminati.
So go to niminvip.com. That's going to redirect you to the Facebook page there. And when you get to the Facebook page, there's going to be some questions that you need to fill out. Make sure you fill out all those on the way in, because that's how I verify that you're a channel member before I let you in there. But I'll be letting everybody in after the stream today. Let's see here. Next up, we've got LLN Carolinas. Says 146,000 views on a video we posted 2 days ago on TikTok. Nice work. Says really shocked by those results. Also brought new traffic to our YouTube channel. Yeah, it's good. Congratulations on that. High five and fist bump to you for taking that plunge into TikTok. and using it for your YouTube channel. I worked with somebody before who used TikTok in that capacity, and anytime they had a viral, not viral, but anytime they had a TikTok video do like well, you would see instant flow over to their YouTube channel. But they had a link tree set up. Basically, what that is where you have like a link to where people can go, and then you put it in your social profiles, and they click on it, and then they can see like your YouTube channel, your TikTok, Instagram, and all that. But basically, they interlinked everything so that if they had a video go viral ish or just do well on TikTok, then he would drive people to that link in his video, and then they would click on that link, and then they would see all the different things he was involved in. They'd follow him, in all the different places. Cargo on Cargo.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Just go to NiminatiVIP.com, and then that will redirect you into the Facebook group, and I'll be letting you in there shortly here after the stream is complete today. All right. I am absolutely trying to avoid saying it. I think I've got it worked in there now, though. Yeah. So what he's talking about, in case you weren't here earlier, is I was suggested that I pay somebody $1 every time that I start to say the old way about how to get into the Facebook group. And since that came up, I think I might have cost $1, but working on it, right? Trying to be mindful, trying to keep that to a minimum. Marcus Schwab.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Same for you. Make sure that you go to NiminatiVIP.com. That will redirect you directly to the Facebook group. Fill out everything on the way in. Let's see here. Julie Wakefield, what's up? I hope that you are doing fantastic. Nice to see you in here. I hope that you are doing great. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm making DIY projects / woodworkers. Is it okay to make videos on bamboo, pallet, and wood burn, or should I focus on one? I would definitely experiment. I would do it on different ones and just see what it is that people enjoy. Since you are doing woodworking, I would think, of course, your audience better than I do, but I would think that if people are into woodworking, that they would, be interested in like, hey, I'm doing some stuff with a pallet. This is all the cool stuff that I can do with that. I'm doing some stuff with bamboo. Here's all the stuff that I can do with that. Oh, wood burn. That's interesting. Here's some stuff that I can do with that. So I would definitely, just experiment with it. And what you're going to find over time is you're going to find that, when you publish, videos, like let's say on wood burn, you're going to find that, hey, when I publish videos on this, they do better on my channel. So because of that, maybe I should start doing more of these. And you'll also notice that, hey, maybe when I talk about bamboo, maybe those videos don't do as well. So because of that, I still want to do them, but I just don't expect the normal view counts out of those that I get from the wood burn content. But I think that that's all still in alignment for people that are interested in woodworking. Brawady Shorts, what's up?
Welcome to the Niminati.
NiminVIP.com is where you want to go. And it's going to redirect you into the Facebook group, and I will see you over there. Fill out everything on the way in. All right. So nice to meet you as well. Here from Jamaica. Jamaica, man. Cool. Love it. Says my first art video got 600 views and was listed under people and blogs. So my next video I put entertainment, it got 70 views. Should I put it under people and blogs even though it's not? Let's see here. My first art video. No. I would just put it under entertainment, but I mean, ultimately YouTube's going to end up categorizing it their way anyway. Like I mentioned before in the stream, if you were here for that or not, I'm not sure. But when you publish a video, like you have the category that you put it into. So you want to kind of give it that head start, so to speak, but then YouTube will categorize it its own way anyway, because there's a lot more categories than just what you see, that you have the option to select from. So just keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring a couple more things to your attention really quick. So first off, I do want to remind everybody that we have a video editing service called VidCharge. So if you're just tired of editing your videos, or you want to work with somebody that will help you get through the retention part of your videos, check out vidcharge.com. In addition to that, of course, make sure that you check out the channel sponsors, tubebuddy.com/Nimin. And that part, the /Nimin on the back, is actually an affiliate link. So that helps give me some credit as well well, which is cool and I appreciate. You don't have to use that. You can just go to TubeBuddy.com. That's cool too, because I just want you to use the tool regardless. And of course, StreamYard.com as well. And in addition to that, I just wanted to just remind you that in case you came into the stream late, that I'm going to be speaking at Vid Summit this year. That happens in the end of September in LA. So I've got a link down in the description directly to vidsummit.com. So I encourage you to check that out. It is an amazing conference for YouTube content creators. So if you are serious about your YouTube channel and you really want to, network with other content creators and you want to learn from some extremely talented people on YouTube, then you definitely want to make sure that you go to Vid Summit this year, Vid Summit 2021. But besides that, I want to thank the mods for holding it down. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the stream today. And I hope that you'll learn something. So here's the thing. When we do these live streams, there is a lot of information shared during these. And if you're new to YouTube, there could be, a lot of stuff where you're like, man, that's a lot of stuff that I got to do. And that can be overwhelming. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh man, there's no way I'm going to be able to do all that stuff. Instead, the best way to get somewhere is by just putting one foot in front of the other, right? Just taking steps and actually, getting there by doing one thing at a time to get there. So what I encourage you to do is if you heard anything today that resonated with you, I encourage you to just focus on like, hey, I'm going to work on this one thing or these two things over the course of this week. And then we'll see you here again next week. And then if you have any questions about the things that you worked on, then of course you can put your question in the form there when I drop the, when I schedule the stream. And then, hopefully we can get that question answered for you on the stream next week. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Sorry for the hang-ups a little bit with the electricity and all that today with the stream shutting down several times. But I hope that you, learned something today. And thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time.